Previously, in the GodBreaking, our party of adventurers left the familiar town, or the familiar city of Ospium, to journey northwestward towards the fabled magical city and stronghold of Mistrala. To do so, they traveled through the countryside of Taswan. On their way, earlier in their journey, they met a renowned thief named Robin, who, after a series of events, agreed to guide them through the Taswani landscape. Several other encounters occurred, in one of which they reunited a forlorn ogre with his village, and in the process found an artifact of hideous nature and even more hideous power. Eventually, along their way, our party crossed through the kinghold of Nanjen, which Rose alerted Deimos because it seemed to fit the description that his god had given him a command for. At Deimos' behest, the party assaulted the ruler's palace, barging their way through town, inflicting great violence upon the royal guard who stood in their way, and in a grand fight, a grand smoke-obscured fight within the throne room, slayed the Lord Pan of the city. It was only then that they discovered that one of the characters that they had been fighting was in fact Kian Mei, the pirate lord. And at their urging, they resurrected the Lord Pan, her uncle. So, you guys are inside the throne room of Nanjen, which is still this little parchment dealio here. That's where we all left you. I think... Where's Feldorn? Oh, Feldorn wasn't part of the fight, but I'll add you in, pretend you were. Throw you in right there. Beat you up a little bit, just like everyone else is beat up. I'll put you here, next to Alberic. You guys are surrounded by carnage. There's those guards all around you. The sorcerers are there. Kian Mei and her ninjas are standing there by your side. Deimos, you have just cast the True Resurrection spell, which is a highly expensive spell, and just barely, I'm talking like by the bleeding edge, the narrowest of margins, managed to resurrect Lord Pan from his fiery death. He kind of like staggers a little bit, and inhales briefly. That's Lord Pan. In shock, just like opening his eyes barely. As that happens, Kian Mei is overcome with visible relief.
Like, you could have just told us from the beginning who you were, and we could have saved all this trouble.
She says, in her own language, she looks at you sharply, Deimos, and mutters a brief phrase in her language. And you hear it clearly. I mean, it just comes through straight to you. Something to the effect of, lost in translation. This is just kind of like that's a rough translation from her own language.
Wow. Insolent is a big word for Deimos, so he scratches his head on that one, but he understands what meathead means. It's a compliment. He gives her a thumbs up.
Are the rest of you guys doing anything in this moment? This is the moment that he has been resurrected. The spell just goes off. There's a visible sigh of relief around the room as the the guards and the spellcasters everywhere are noticeably relieved.
Is
Um,
there any way I can sense any evil from him? The resurrected guy?
how would you be doing that?
I don't know.
Deimos knows a way. Torture.
Explain to me how
Yeah, I
you're
wish I-
trying to accomplish it, and maybe it'll happen.
That's what I'm looking for. See if I have any that might do it. I believe it's protection from evil. That's the only thing I got. Can I do like an insight check on him?
Insight check would work, or would try. Go ahead and roll it.
That's gonna fail.
Okay. As he is kind of coming to, you're looking at him. You're observing his mannerisms. You're glancing over his person, like just trying to see what's going on about him. You see
I got a cast keys.
an older individual who is bedecked in fine silk, embroidered, very colorful, very bright. He has all the entrapments of royalty and authority over him. It's not a culture that you're especially familiar with, so you wouldn't necessarily be able to. You're not able to really tell anything about his personality or his characteristics or his mannerisms. Um, and he's not exactly looking at you or talking to you, so there's nothing to read or discern from what he's doing right now.
I asked him if he's a good guy.
So you're gonna say that? Like, are you a good guy?
Yeah, I was like, are you mean to your people? Are you a good person?
Let me give him a Lipton's test. See what his personality is. His senses are 100% flawless.
He doesn't necessarily understand what you're saying.
I let some like radiant energy spark up, and then I give a thumbs up, and then I point to Feldorn. I'm like, big bad energy, and then I point up thumbs down. Which one are you?
There's a general look
Bad energy.
of bafflement around you, because this is all happening within a few seconds, because you guys are suddenly realizing that behind you. So Elwyn, when you cast haste last week, the wall of ice that you had erected disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
So
I did the wall of ice.
did you?
Yeah, mine was fire.
And you had put the fire. I don't remember where you put the fire. I don't think you put up a wall of fire. You did. You cast haste, right?
I put up a wall of fire behind us, but I did another concentration spell, so it would have gone away.
Yeah. So that's right. That's right. Exactly. That's what I remember. So that went away. So at this point, you've been caught up to by all the guards that had been chasing you guys. Okay. So they come rushing in
Guys
this
don't
way.
learn.
I say we brought him back. No harm, no foul. We were told there's a really bad leader in one of these kingdoms, and we somehow came to believe that this was the guy. We just came to talk, and your guys attacked us.
Okay. At this point, Lord Pan has stood up, or he's sat up all the way, and he suddenly glares at you all, and he begins to speak angrily. You can see in Euphemia, what you did gain from your insight check is that this is a very proud man, a very rigid man who holds to tradition and because of his royal blood, he's he's a noble through and through. And as you're watching him, you can tell that he's taken extreme grievous offense to what has just happened here. He begins to
Dude,
point
we
and
brought you
shout. Also, the room is on fire because of Elwyn's fireball. So the men begin to these troops come up behind you all, and they're in a rush. They begin to confront you guys down at the bottom. Feldorn Elwyn, and Albrecht. A bunch of guards come up to you, speaking angrily in this language that none of you understand, pointing spears at you, and basically ordering you to disarm yourselves.
I drop the battle axe I'm carrying.
So this is down at the bottom. Elwyn, Albrecht, and Feldor.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna tell him. You remember what happened when we first got here? You don't want to push me. You back off.
Just drop your weapon.
I'm not dropping my weapon.
You see a couple of the sorcerers and guards rush off to the sides of the room, and they begin trying to put out the fires. The sorcerers are casting basic, like chilling touch spells, and or whatever that cantrip of frost is. The guards are rapidly running around to do that. At this point, the ninjas move between you and the king. And Kian Mei herself begins to do the same, as Lord Pan is speaking quite angrily.
I take a step back. I'm just like, dude, we brought him back. If he wanted to kill him, we would have left him dead.
Kian Mei begins to speak, and she does so in a way that you all understand, but still in her language. She says, "You all have greatly offended my uncle." He says, "You have come into our land, assaulted our palace, slain our guards, and taken his own life. The fact that you have brought him back does not make up for what you have done. Our Lord commands that you either leave now or be put to death. What is your response?"
Can't we all just be friends?
So, I mean, we'll leave, but like, as Dan was just slowly walking away, he's like, if you could maybe tell us where the really big bad warlord dude is, that would be really helpful. Cough, cough, you guys could take over his kingdom. You just gotta tell us where he's at.
Lord Penn is now standing. He's a short man. He's angrily pointing and shouting and waving and gesturing, and calling his guards to come in and take you guys away. So Kian Mei begins to move, and Deimos, she's gonna come up to you, and she's gonna quite forcefully say, "Leave now, or you will be slain. There is no coming back from this grievous offense."
Alright, guys, well, do we want to leave, or do we want to get a kingdom?
I'm gonna follow your lead. Whatever you want, I'm down for
It's
whatever.
a bad idea to lead. Have Deimos lead. Anyone have any ideas? Anybody?
I don't know. I see a lot of zombies I can make.
Because I don't want to kill an innocent dude if he's not bad, but wasn't this guy supposed to be kind of a douchebag?
The king begins to continue to speak and shout. You can see anger just crossing his face, like spittle is flying from his mouth. And Kian Mei is being sort of a pseudo-interpreter for him. She says, "Lord Pan accuses you of being in collaboration with those people who have infected our city. You and they must all be purged from our town, from the sanctity of our kingdom. Leave now." She draws her sword, and her ninjas behind her do the same thing. You guys see that these dudes here, as you've been fighting them before, they mean business. One of them is fairly recognizable to you, as he fixes his mask a little bit. He pulls it up over his face, right, and looks at you all with a kind of like a frown. Gives you a strong thumbs down, the very opposite of a buddy Jesus.
Oh, man.
Is that what's his face? The dude that helped us that one time?
That's Xiao.
I say, well, we're leaving. Don't worry. But if it makes it any better, if we could somehow make this up to you, what are the people infecting your city? We could get rid of them for you very easily.
Lord Pan begins to shout and scream a little bit more, and Kian Mei says, "Our great and noble lord is fully capable of continuing the purge of our city and ruling his people on his own. We do not need your help." And she looks at you, and this time, Deimos, there's a little bit of a pleading in her eye. She says, "Leave now, please, or I must fight you."
Alright. Deimos is good to leave. Are you guys good to leave?
Yep.
Okay, what do you guys do?
We're
Start
chasing
walking out
after-
the door.
After you're a bad guy, so if you want to go, we'll go.
I don't know if this is the bad guy though. I just wanted to ask.
Who are you asking? Them?
Oh no, the main reason I want to walk in or talk to find out if this was the bad guy.
I think your bad guy might be a thing that's corrupting the people that they're trying to purge. And you just, like, tried to purge the good guy.
Well, I think it's supposed to be some dictator superlord dude.
Yeah, but what if it's like an underground dictator superlord dude that's, like, trying to take over the city?
Yeah, fair enough.
The guards begin to come in, streaming in from all over the place, and there's lots of
Oh, mass teleport.
anger,
Can
lots
you
of
teleport
swords
outside of
everywhere.
Oh, we're walking out.
Okay.
I think teleport would be better. Just saying.
You guys walking out?
Well, yeah, that's all Deimos can do.
Okay.
I can teleport us, but you're all the way over there, Euphemia.
Well, I say we just all kind of meet in the middle and teleport out. Because who knows what happens on the way out where we just end up killing more people. Or you guys end up killing more people.
Deimos didn't kill nobody.
I killed a shitload of people.
Ellen killed a lot of people. Okay.
Alright, yeah, we'll do whatever you want.
Alright, so where are you teleporting them to?
Just outside of the city.
Okay. You guys gather up in the middle of the city with a lot of angry stares.
Is there...
on.
Question. Is there a way I can, like, send a message to her to, like, meet us?
You can do whatever you want. What are you trying to do? We
I
can
can't
try to do
remember.
whatever you want.
Did she have any, like... When we were with her pirates, did she have any way of communicating, like, under the cuff?
If you tell me, I can send a message to her.
Yeah, it'd have to be a message spell or something like that. Marina was the one who knew the message cantrip. Kian Mei can only speak to you because of her monk ability to basically make her language be understood to whoever she wants to. But that's
Send her a message
different.
to meet us later tonight outside.
All
Her
right.
and the monk, our monk friend, the other guy, the other ninja. You know,
Okay.
just-
Yeah, I'll message Cantrip what Euphemia said.
Okay. As you cast that, you see her standing there. There's no expression across her face. No change in expression.
That's okay, that's
You believe she heard it, but she doesn't visibly change her expression at all.
Okay. As long as she got the message.
Okay. You guys gather up in the center of the room. You're surrounded by angry royal guards. You know, they all have their weapons drawn, pointed at you. But at this point, the sorcerers and the magic users have finished their process, and they all begin to stare at you.
Right before we teleport, I'm gonna bow.
Okay. One of the guards growls and says, "Leave. Now. Go!"
You go now. You eat too much.
Yeah, we're gonna go. You guys are too weak to really put up any sort of fight.
You see a couple of their sorcerers begin to cast a spell. Their hands begin to glow with electricity.
Man, let's teleport the fuck out of here, guys.
Teleport.
Okay. You guys vanish. And you zip away to just outside of the city.
Now the reason it was just outside and not anywhere further is because I want to see if any of those people that were causing trouble that had the mark or whatever, If I can see any of them near us, so we can question them.
Okay. Outside the city, there is a scattering. So outside the wall of the city, there's a scattering of smaller villages and hovels and that kind of stuff. There are people milling around and people coming and going from the city. So yes. You do see that there are people of all different nationalities and races. Like I said, mostly human, but the vast majority human. There are some halflings and you see a couple gnomes and half-elves, that kind of stuff. But the vast majority, 95% of the people you see are humans of different race. You see light-skinned people, fair-skinned people, the Tian race, who seems to be the dominant force here. You see some darker-skinned, various varieties, that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna try to keep a lookout for one of those marks that they had. Was it on their hands?
When you saw was a darker skinned person who did have scars on his hand. There was no actual insignias, but it was like scar patterning on some of his hands and on his face.
I'll keep a lookout for it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
And one more thing. I'm gonna do my thing where I use 2 5th level spell slots and 1 second to get all my sorcery points back.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. So you start looking around. What are the rest of you guys doing? Anyone else doing anything? I guess not.
I'm just gonna set up camp and cast mansion door.
Okay. As you
What time is it? By the way.
it's getting late afternoon, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. You guys from the outside, you can hear the commotion from inside the city. People were obviously visibly. It was quite the occurrence for you guys to attack the palace like that and set it on fire. So it was quite the display of power and all the spells that you guys released. So you can hear that there's still a lot of activity going on inside the city. On the outside, the people are slightly less interested. They're going about their work, carrying goods to and fro. You see some of them working on building a few things, and a lot of people just sitting around, doing nothing. Elwyn, after a little while of looking for a dark-skinned person with scars on their hands and kind of like you're describing, you do notice somebody, but he seems to be off outside a small building, not like a house, but like an establishment, but it's fairly small, simply built with rough lumber, and you can across the top there are various words in the Tian language, but they're also translated into Common as well. Basically, it's like a tavern. You see a man step up to the entrance to the tavern, and he's got like a mat or a rug that he's just is dusting off on the ground in front of the tavern. His skin is darker, kind of the same shade. He has the features of a different ethnicity, similar to the man that you saw inside earlier. And that's what you kind of glance around with this perception check.
I'll kind of get close to him and say, "Hey, friend, do you know a place where someone might get a drink?"
He looks up at you. He says, "Why, yes, I have the honor of such an establishment here. I can provide as you might wish, assuming you can pay."
I'll kind of like motion to my pouch where I keep all my gold.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, it seems you are of the sort who is accustomed to purchasing wares and services. Come inside my humble tavern.
Thank you. I will follow him in, and I'll kind of ask him. Actually, I'll cast a message cantrip and say, um, "Would you happen to be selling information as well?"
He says, "In these parts, anything can be bought for the right price, if you know what I mean. But
I'll just.
what I may know and be able to provide, I am not so sure. I am just a humble tavern keeper."
Okay. Is anyone with me, or am I by myself?
I don't know. What are you guys doing?
Can I go follow into the tavern?
Okay. Felder and Euphemia? Euphemia is casting her mansion.
Oh wait, what's everybody else doing?
Euphemia said she was casting her mansion. Feldurin, what are you doing? You hanging out with Elwyn and Deimos to talk to the tavern keeper, or what? Are you staying with Euphemia, doing something else?
I'm hanging out with Owen and Deimos.
Okay.
I don't trust that Euphemia person.
Euphemia, what are you gonna do? As you see the rest of them head off towards talk to this guy.
I'm gonna wait at the spot we told her to meet us, just in case.
Okay. The three of you enter the fairly dimly lit tavern. You walk inside. It's much smaller than most taverns that you've experienced along the way. You can tell that this is a very humble setting. But it's for as simple as it is. It seems to be clean and well tended. He says, "Please enter, enter." You see a few other patrons around, in dimly lit corners, sitting around. Another 4 or 5 individuals inside the tavern. He says, "I am Jonan. Jonan is my name. You are my guests. Welcome. Come, sit, drink." He kind of points you to the bar.
I will head over there. Thank you, Jonan.
Oh yes, of course.
Let me get some of your best stuff. What do you have?
He says, "We have various assortments of ale. We have brown ale, we have drab brown ale, and we have, dark brown ale."
All right. Why don't you get 4 cups? 3 here for my friends and myself, and 1 for you.
Yes, I will. So he pours some, and he settles down. A minute later, he comes back. You see him wiping some things back behind the counter, and he sets up for you guys simple wooden hewn mugs with a dark brown ale inside. He says, "I can tell from your vestments that you are individuals of accomplishment, and I'm sure that you are accustomed to finer settings than what I am able to provide in my lowly tavern."
Actually, believe it or not, no, we're really not.
"Oh, well. I appreciate you being here. Cheers!" And he kind of lifts his mug to you all.
Do the same.
Yep.
"Now," he says, "I have eyes. And I have ears.
I do too.
I know that there has been a great commotion inside the city. And for all of a sudden a group of 4, well, I guess there's more of you. So Albric and Ashok are also there around. A group of 6 of yourselves to suddenly appear out of nowhere in a flash of fire and light. He says, "It is not something that is ordinarily occurring in our part of the world."
Yeah. We had to get out of there. We accidentally killed your king, dude.
"The king is dead?"
No, we brought him back. They were kind of angry about it.
He says, "You brought him back? Why?"
Well, yeah. Well, one of those ninja people is our friend from way back in the day, and she wasn't very happy with us.
He slams his cup down on the table in front of you. He says, "If you are friends of Lord Pan and his accursed assassins..."
No, we're not. We're not. It's a pirate thing. We accidentally blew up him and a bunch of his guards.
"But you have said so right now. That you slew him. That despicable
it's embarrassing,
despot."
isn't it?
"No!"
I'm gonna kind of put my hands up like, hold on, slow the combo here. We had heard rumors that there is an evil warlord somewhere in these parts, and we thought it was him, so we killed him, but then they tried to convince us otherwise, so my buddy here brought him back to life. Can you shed some light on the situation? What's going on? Can you tell us the truth?
He says, rumors. Rumors of a warlord. I know not of a warlord, but I know of an evil man. And Lord Pan is an evil man.
What?
He says, if you, he points at you all, he says, if you are in league with him.
No, we're not. I told you we killed him.
I killed a bunch of his guards.
Yeah, like, did you not hear the whole thing? Like, you can ask anyone.
But you brought him back.
Well, we had to make sure, and nobody wanted to talk to us. But, I mean, if you want to talk to us, we can go back in there. It's not going to be that hard.
He says, I question your judgment.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Feldorn just snickers.
I'm gonna try to persuade him. I'm gonna say, look, we're just trying to do the right thing here. We don't like killing people that don't deserve it, so we just had to be sure.
What evil stuff does he do?
He says, Lord Pan is a man full of himself, who strikes down any and all that offer him even the simplest, let's say, who do not meet his standards of respect and honor. He says, he and his assassins terrorize the people in this countryside. They steal away children from their beds at night. They send their guards during the daytime to watch us, and any and all who do not meet their liking, they attack them. They take all they have, they seize them away to their castle, and they return later with these. And he pulls back his sleeves, and you see scars up rolling across his arms. For those who manage to return at all, the fortunate ones.
So if you have those scars, you're one of those people that they've taken?
Many do not return. Many are never seen again.
Where do they take him?
He says, he shakes his head. He says, no one knows about those who disappear. I tell you though, my experience with Lord Pan, and he spits in the corner. Then he stops for a second. He takes out a cloth and he cleans it up. Then he stands back up. He says, was one of pain, was one of terror, and it is not something I like to recall.
Okay, I have to tell it.
What?
So we should have left them dead. That's what it
Yeah,
sounds
why
like.
didn't we leave him dead yet? Whose idea was that? Oh yeah, that one ninja.
Well, I did send her a message. We could wait until she comes and speaks to us to try to get to the bottom of it. If she doesn't come, we'll just break in again tomorrow.
Yeah, actually, I talked to this guy, and I say, hey, let's say that people tend to go back in there and the king gets murdered. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but is there any people we could turn to for help or like distraction or something like that? Because walk into a throne room once and beat people up is one thing, but do it 2 times in a row, I highly doubt they're that stupid.
He looks around the room. He says, you are fortunate. The individuals in this room, he looks around to the 5 other people in the various corners, he says, are trustworthy.
Are they strong?
They agree that the Lord Pan is a terror. He looks around. He says, him. He points over to a corner. He says, come, Tatsu, come here.
Cat soup?
Tatsu.
Oh. Hey, that's disgusting.
From the corner, a young man comes over. He's wearing a brown brown cloth hood, short sleeves. He carries the posture of an athlete or someone who's very young and in prime health. He pulls his hood back slightly, and you see a young Tien-looking man, scars crossing his wrist and his forearms, and he looks up at you. And he says, "Hey, Jonan, you called for me. Who are these individuals that you have brought?" Jonan says, "They come. They say they're enemies of Lord Pan, and they seek friends to aid them." Tatsu says, "I see. Well then, any enemy of Lord Pan is a friend of mine." And he bows slightly.
Alright, I say, well, if you want to help us, you can. How strong is he?
"What do you intend to do?"
Well, we gotta get rid of him. I show him my list of things to do. There's only 2 things on the list, and one got crossed out. And the other one says, take out Warlord in some area.
"So you wish to take him out?"
Well, I have to. It's on my checklist.
"Well, I and many of my acquaintances would be willing and eager to aid you in this venture."
Any of you guys, let's say, have super cool holy powers?
He says, "Powers? What of powers?" He says,
I put an arm
We have-
around him, and I show him powers. Like my arms, and magic and shit.
"Yes,
And
I know.
this could all be yours.
I have
All you
fists."
gotta do is, yes. I show him as I punch a thing, how it has fire and breaks more than when he punches things.
What do you punch?
Whatever is, like, by me. But
Okay,
that's
so-
not a person.
All right, so you punch like, are you gonna punch the bar?
Yeah, I'll break the bar.
All right, you bust the bar, and it's like as you slam your fist into it, it glows. Your blazing knuckles, kind of like the radiant gifts from Tempest, alight with flame and glowing energy, and you shatter the thing into pieces all over the place. This huge chunk is torn out of the bar.
I'm gonna like separate 200 gold, put them in another little bag, and hand them to
Oh, that's,
Jonan.
a bar is not worth 200 gold.
It's alright.
Guys, Feldorn smacks Deimos upside the head. What's wrong with you?
Dude, I'm trying to show him how awesome Tempest is.
Tatsu goes, You are a warrior of great power."
Oh, Deimos blushes and says, "Oh, stop it."
He says, "Perhaps there is hope, Jonan. Perhaps these ones are able to end the blight and the terror that our people face."
Yeah.
Jonan smiles. He goes, "I see." And he takes he slyly takes the purse that you slide across the table, Elwin, and you see him put it in his pocket.
I said, hey, if you want to get a little bit stronger, you can just accept Tempest.
Tempest?
Yes, Tempest. The god of badassery and kick-asserness.
He says, "Ah, you are the follower of a god."
Yeah, and you could be too.
He says, I'm curious of these gods. I would wish to learn more."
Alright, cool. And I give him my workout routine pamphlet and how to meet Tempest pamphlet. And I say, here, this is going to sting a little bit, but it'll be okay. And I sear in the thing from my fist onto his chest for the sign of Tempest. Here's your holy sign. Okay, we're good. Alright, so I need you to just follow these instructions. And you're going to be sick OP strong, trust me.
He flinches a little bit, and you see him looking with a bewildered look at Jonan, and Jonan looks at him back and just like shrugs. With like a whatever, clueless kind of look.
Deimos is eventually going to get a convert. It's going to happen. He's bound to get one eventually.
Okay. Alright, what are you guys doing?
I'm just looking at Deimos, shaking my head, going, "Really? Really?"
Yeah, dude, I think this guy might actually do it.
Tatsu looks at his chest. He says, "This pain that I feel right now, here in my breast, he says. If this is the way to power, I gladly accept it. And if it means the liberation of my people, then I gladly accept that as well.
Oh, definitely, definitely, definitely. Just follow the pamphlet, trust me.
Is I will read this. He looks at it. Yes. I will get my sister to read it to me.
Oh, good, good, good. I don't know how to read very well either. Most of it is like more of like a drawing pamphlet.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Should we go back, guys? Or what do you guys want to do?
I still think we should wait for the lady
Oh,
pirate.
yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah, go back to where Euphemia's at.
Yeah, and I'd rather rest first because might need my 9th level spell slot if we're gonna bust in again.
I look at both of them and I go, do we really have to go back over there?
Well, yeah. I
But
think.
it's Euphemia.
She's not that bad.
I
And then
roll
again, I
at-
think we're all pretty bad.
I look
not
at
really.
I look at Deimos and I'm like, how many times has she smacked you?
Deimos, he pulls out his calculator and he says, "My calculator doesn't have that much. I can't count that high."
Your abacus doesn't go that high?
Nope.
Exactly.
Let's just go.
Okay. As you leave, Jonan says, "You have the thanks of our people. If there is any help you need," he says, "we will offer it freely, even if it means our own lives. Such is the price we would pay."
Try not to die.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, just be stronger than your opponents. Trust me, it works. Best way not to die.
He nods. Okay.
Er,
Alright, what are you guys doing?
I think heading back to where we're supposed to meet this lady or Rustin or something.
Yeah, go look for Euphemia and tell her the new developments.
Okay. You get back to where Euphemia is. Euphemia, while they were gone, what were you doing?
Just watching the city, seeing if anyone comes.
Okay. Looking for anything in specific? Because you see a fair amount of people coming and going. You do get
I
odd
look
looks.
for ninjas, running through trees and doing Naruto shit.
Yeah, I like Naruto a
Because I've
lot.
seen Naruto, so I know exactly what I'm looking for.
I know. I like Naruto a lot. During the time that they are gone, all that you observe and are able to see is just what seems like everyday city life. People do look at you and give you weird stares. They're not used to seeing a dark elf in these parts of the world, but mothers kind of like shy their kids away, and people tend to like cross the other side of the street when they see you. That kind of thing to give you your distance. After a little while of that, the guys come back out of the tavern, and they meet up with you. By this time, it's getting a little bit later, maybe 6 o'clock. The sun is definitely on the descent in the sky. What are you guys doing?
More just resting. I mean, keeping a watch out.
Okay. So you're taking a short rest while just hanging out?
If that's what everybody else wants to do.
Alright.
Yeah, sure.
You guys find a location that you think is out of the way. The gaze of all these people is a little bit uncomfortable, and you can see that you guys are definitely different enough that people notice you. So you find an area that's kind of off the beaten path, still within eyesight of the city, but off on your own. And you guys hang out there for a little while. You get a short rest. And as
Wait, I
you're
thought we were taking a long rest.
you can take a long rest.
Yeah, isn't like nighttime, and doesn't Elwin want like spells back since he like murdered billions of people with them?
Up to you guys. As long as we don't have to go back in before we get a long rest, I'm good. I still got a ton of spell slots. And my staff. Okay.
Yeah, I think we gotta wait for that lady. Wasn't she supposed to come tonight? And isn't around the time
Well,
that
we
she's
don't know
supposed to
when
come?
she's gonna come. Hopefully,
Okay.
if she comes at all.
One thing you do notice is that at the front gate, which is in sight of where you are, later in the evening, the two guards at the front are not the same two guards that were there when you guys entered. The ones that you basically paid to give you access to the city the night before or earlier that morning. It's a different set of guards.
Okay.
Those two guys are gone. As evening falls, you guys are just watching the city, observing, and you see city life as. Go ahead and just roll me a bunch of persuasion checks, all of you, one each, or perception checks.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
That's like persuasion. We
Which
might be
one?
bone guys.
perception.
I would rather roll persuasion.
You guys are watching. You're being observant of the people and their mannerisms, and you do sense the tenseness in the air, although it's nowhere near as tangible as it was inside the city gates. There are, people are just suspicious in general. They look cautiously around and that kind of thing. The children are not so free in their play, running all over the place. Their parents and those caring for them seem to keep them close at their sides in general. That's just something that you observe and notice, Elwin. As evening falls, you guys hang around. You break out some of your rations. You eat them. Let's see. And as the night gets old, or maturely comes around, the sun is fully gone. You notice someone coming up to you. A female figure coming up to you.
What's up, girl?
Fully cloaked in a reddish material, hood covering her head. She comes up to you, and as she looks around, she kind of gestures over further away from the city.
I'll follow her.
Okay, she leads you off to another half or a quarter mile away, and by this point you're fully out of range of eyesight of the city. There's a grove of trees that she brings you to, and she kind of tosses back her hood.
Whoa, you're not what I was expecting.
She says, "No, I am not," she says, "but I have heard of you from my sister." She says, "Kian was unable to leave our uncle's side. Yes. I am here in her place." She bows. She says, your humble servant, she says. "I am called Mantis."
Nice to meet you, Mantis. I am Elwin, and these are my friends.
She says, "I have heard tale." She bows. She's younger. She's quite a bit younger than Ken Mei. You guess she's about 16 or 17 years old. She says, "What do you wish to communicate?"
Well, first off, we've heard conflicting reports. We've heard that there was a evil warlord in these parts, and we thought that was what we found out now is your uncle.
She said. Her face is kind of expressionless.
What do you think about your uncle?
She says, My uncle is a kind... No, my uncle is a just and noble man. She says, he seeks only honor. He seeks respect. He is firm and strong in what he does. And if there have been tales spread by those people amongst the city walls, inside the city walls, about him, well, yes, so be it. He is,
So be it.
he is uncompromising.
Okay.
So he's
So-
like any other dictator.
Just to make sure, he doesn't kidnap kids, and his guards don't beat up people, right?
She says, there has been a grand insurgence of those people within our walls. People disappear at night. She says, and there is unrest. There is violence in the streets. There is great, great disrespect for my uncle. She says,
Well,
for those
we
people, the guards must establish order.
we heard that your uncle was behind the disappearances.
She says, I know not of this. But your humble servant, she bows, is quite young. There is much I do not know.
I would say, well, let's say there's a big, powerful super god, and he wants some warlord guy to repent. You can't think of any single thing he could have done that would make this god guy want this to happen, right?
She says, we do not worship gods in this city.
That's fine.
My uncle believes in no god. He will bow to no god.
Ooh. Does he think
Does
he's
he
a god?
think-
She looks, she says, in our culture, the rulers are our gods.
Ooh. I hold up my finger and say, can you give us a second for a huddle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she turns, she bows, she says, as you wish.
I call in a team meeting huddle.
She kind of steps away.
I'm like, hey guys, so what do we think?
Did our insight checks get anything?
So you guys are trying to incite her with what she's saying. Okay, you're
About
seeing
the whole uncle is great.
she's very sincere. And you can see that she's speaking it with quite a bit of passion behind her voice, especially when it comes to the reverence that she has for her uncle, for the ruler.
What I was trying to get out of that, thank you, Euphemia, for reminding me of the insight check, is was she kind of, I'm pretty sure that that's exactly what she feels about it, but is it being forced? Like, is there another feeling that maybe he's not so great deep down? You know what I mean?
Let's see. We rolled a 16. You're looking for it, but not knowing her too well, and also just your understanding of human nature. You can see her passion, and you don't see any hesitation or wavering in her passion for what she's saying.
Okay.
All right. So, now do we think that maybe there's a guy behind the scenes that's doing this?
I don't think Tempest would care about these people. I mean, he's god of war, not the god of, hey, they're not worshipping me, let's go fucking kill
Well,
people.
yeah, but I think he doesn't
This
like
isn't...
big old pansies, and this guy sounds like a big old pansy.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really seem like something that the god of war would care about. So, I think we're in the wrong place.
All right. Sounds good. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
And then
What are
I'm
you
gonna
doing?
concentrate really hard. I'm like, let me just check with the big guy himself real fast.
Do you
the
have
fuck
like
is that?
the spell augury or something?
He's,
And,
he's casting divination.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask a really general question so I don't
Okay.
get too much because that's cheating too much.
What are you asking?
I say, is the target somewhat in the general close by vicinity?
Okay. Divination. Can you guys read that spell? Yeah, I'll link it just in case you can't read it. With a god or gods. You ask a single question, considering a specific goal, event, or activity. Yeah. DM offers a truth reply. The reply might be a short phrase. Okay.
Mainly, I just want to see if the dude's like in this, like this little guy's country. If we're just
Okay.
messing with the wrong guy.
All right. So.
Well, this is a big ass country. I mean, this is just one kingdom in the
Well,
country,
yeah, like the
right?
kingdom. Yeah, if it's like pretty much in this kingdom, like the city-ish.
Okay. You hear in your mind, Deimos, as you concentrate on this divination spell, and it takes a little while to cast. Let's see here. You're you kind of ready. You quiet yourself. You flex your pecs, and you flex your glutes, and you can feel your mind, just lifting, and the veil separating the earth from the heaven kind of spreads and grows thin before you, and through the vague transparency, it's not a clear picture, but you find yourself looking to the heavens, and you see a red light on the other side, and you ask your question, and after a little while, you hear a response just kind of resonate through your mind. You hear a voice say, "The subject of my wrath is near, and I grow disturbed, knowing that he is still alive."
Oops. I say, my bad if I brought him back.
Okay. The veil is growing closed, is shutting before you.
Alright, guys, he's definitely somewhere in that city, so that guy could definitely be the bad guy.
Well, let's figure out what. I'm gonna go back to the girl and ask her what is her father searching for with our. Who's taking all these people?
One
And
thing
what are the guards searching for?
Okay. What, Elwin?
I was just gonna tell Deimos the only thing that makes me doubt it was him, because he died really quick. It feels like
That's-
super evil. Wouldn't it have been a little bit harder?
See, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, on account of I pull my energy from Tempest, and I don't think Tempest is going to bring back the dude we're supposed to kill. But Deimos could be wrong.
Plus, he did technically die from
It was
like,
a 9th level
the
spell.
aftershock.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't die to the fireball. He died to the side of the fireball.
So Euphemia, you had a question for her. She returns back to the circle as you kind of call her back over. She says, "My time grows short here, and I am
So
here
why
for
are the
my sister."
guards looking for people, and what are they looking for?
She says, "Ever since those people arrived within
Okay,
our
okay,
lands,
who are those people?
the dark-skinned ones,"
What do you mean by dark-skinned ones?
she says, "not quite as light as I, but lighter than you."
Why does it matter if they're dark-skinned? Because the guards will ignore some dark-skinned people and go after other dark-skinned people.
She says, "We know not where they come from. She says, but they arrived. Dozens of them, and more followed. This was years ago."
How do the guards tell them apart?
She says, "Ever since they arrived," she says, "there has been unrest within our city. There has been distrust, there has been disrespect. And now, most recently, people have gone missing. Children in the night, disappearing. Families gone motherless. She says. And the people grow anxious. They grow chaotic. Their trust for our great ruler diminishes.
They
And
believe the great ruler is the one that's doing it.
she says lies. All
Well,
Well,
lies.
give us a reason
Lies.
to tell a lie.
Lies spread by the dark people.
Who's the Dark People's leader? Do you know where he's at? Or where they all meet up, like their big headquarters?
She says, we do not know. I do not know. But our guards seek them out. Whenever they are able to fish out a cell or a cluster of them, we strike. They strike. But still, like pests, like rodents infesting a city, they spread and they scatter, and they grow stronger elsewhere. She says, she looks around, she says, great disturbing things occur within our walls. She says, these dark ones, they have infected, they have converted even, she says, even our own people. The unrest grows, the chaos grows, and my uncle's grip upon the city weakens. Jeez. So, as a man of honor, as a man of respect of the old code, he has sent more guards. He has instituted a curfew and martial law. There can be no such anarchy within our walls, within the walls of our grand city.
Oh, fair enough. So how do we contact you again? Let's say, as a, whoops, we're sorry, we find the big leader dude and give it to your, let's say, uncle.
She says, I am here because of my sister.
Like, what, you got some cell phone number? You got a sending stone? You got something?
She says, I know not of any of those things you speak of.
Man, how does a teenage girl not have a sending store these days? I mean, come on. What type of backwards country is this?
She steps back. She says, if I have answered all your questions, she says, hear what my sister has to say. She says, leave this place. Do not disrespect my uncle again. For if you do, my sister, our warriors, and even myself, we will all fight you. We will
You
give
do
our
understand.
lives for for my uncle.
You do understand that only half of the people were fighting with half their power, and they still killed your uncle, and I was trying to stop them.
She
And you
says,
still haven't given us a reason not to do it, and if we actually go in there full force, we could probably just wipe out your whole kingdom.
Yeah, she
But
cockblocked some
you
of my
should really
spells.
help us.
she says, now at this
I can't
point,
hold these guys back.
you're seeing a bit of a little bit of wave of hesitation and fear just flashes across her face. She says, this much is known to me. She says,
Could we have is there any possible way we could have a actual real tiny, this little meeting just to talk to your uncle? That's all we really wanted in the beginning, but then your people attacked us. We were kind of forced to punch our way in.
she says,
Because we
impossible.
want to get to the bottom of this, because that's on my list, my checklist, my two-thing checklist.
Impossible. She says, you have offended him greatly.
But we have friends of kingdoms which are way bigger than this one. If we really wanted to just raffle stomp this place, we could easily do it.
She says, our kingdom is small, she says, but my uncle is a proud man.
Does he have a Quigley, though?
She says, a what?
A Quigley. Trust me, you would know if you had a Quigley.
She says, I know not of what you speak.
Alright, yeah, so we
The
have
big
one of
giant
those.
guy with
She
a
looks at you,
big
she says-
color that smash people.
This one uses strange words.
Yes, it does. This is extremely strange words, but trust me. Your uncle doesn't
Okay.
have a Quigley.
I'm gonna ask her this. Does she know what the definition of racist?
She says, racist? Explain to me of what you speak.
Okay. Deimos is this color, and I am this color. You hate me because of my color, and not because Deimos is an asshole.
I'm not an asshole. I'm
Like,
lovable and
like
cute.
this guy, and I point at Feldorn. He is racist as fuck. The thing is, he's racist against his own people. It's really bad.
She looks at you very confused. She says, but you and he you share the same color.
Yeah, this is why he should be locked away. I mean, he's just insane.
So,
Okay, yeah, but she's an evil witch from the Underdark.
All right,
Who worships a
Fuck
spider
corpses.
later.
so all right, so just
He has, like, the
do you
same
guys
corpses.
mind?
You see
taking
her
color?
face.
And
Her
he goes
face.
to bed with him. It's like really weird.
You see her. She takes a half step backwards. There's a wave of disgust crosses her face. She says, "You are all horrible people."
I'm gonna say,
Dude,
hold
we
on.
kind of know that.
Let me ask you something. So, your uncle, he gets offended easily and he takes it out on his people. Does he have a Twitter account?
She says,
It's just
"These words you use." She says, "I know not." She points at Deimos. She says, "You,
Fakenews.com?
your words are strange and odd." She says, but you are of the race asshole." She says,
Oh, I get it, guys. He's actually, this is what it is. The guy, he's mad at us because his opponents have bigger hands than him.
"Oh, he is Asian."
Gigantic, they're preposterous. They're huge hands. Look at my hands. I show more hands. My hands are gigantic. They're way bigger than my opponent's hands.
He says, she looks at you. She's like, curiously. He says, "Yes, your hands are much larger than those of my people. The men in my country," she says, "their hands are smaller. What of it?"
Oh, not much, but is your sister single, and does she like larger men? Preferably with gigantic hands. Look how big these hands are. They're huge.
She was
I hold up
pirate.
next
She
to
probably
Elwin's
knows
hands.
all
I'm like,
about gigantic hands.
my hands are gigantic.
She says, "My sister cares not about hand size." She says, she prefers more of the girth and size of the cock. But what of it?
Oh. Oh. Alright, Deimos is gonna back away. He's just like, hey, I'm pretty sure I can't catch diseases, but if that's what the lady cares about, I'm pretty sure I could catch something from that. No, walk away, huh?
She looks around. She says, "You, dark ones. You, asshole. Just leave this place."
Elwin, you're good.
no.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but the gods say that there is some evil creature here, and all of your people say that that evil creature is your king. And we have to stop the evil creature. So unless you help us find the creature, we might have to target your king. Even though I still think it's the wrong target, but I can't hold these guys back.
That's not true. That's not true. We're not gonna attack you guys.
How old did she say she was?
About 16.
Too young to
18?
hit.
16.
18? 18?
You know what? You know what?
Giggity.
Didn't you have a dwarf back in our keep?
Different country, dude.
Well, it's the 1,000-mile rule. Come on, guys. That's how it works in D&D.
So what happens in pseudo China stays in pseudo China.
Exactly.
I don't know what the.
Yeah.
Don't make me Google the age of consent in China.
Oh, I don't want to know that actually.
It's probably like 12.
I'll give her family a goat.
It's really low in
All right.
Japan. That's all
All
I
right.
know.
I say, all right. So, you gonna go report this to your sister?
She says, "Of course."
Okay, cool.
Why didn't your sister come?
She's guarding against probably people like us.
"My sister
You're gonna-
is the strongest warrior in all of our land." She says,
Wait, she's the strongest one?
You do know that we killed your brother, right?
What?
she gasps.
Really?
She's,
Just blurt
He
it
was a
out.
Shen?
bad guy.
"You have seen
Yeah, he's
Shen?"
dead. No, we killed Shen.
Deimos actually covers up
And a bunch of
Captain
his
Fluffy
guys.
Paws, who has those gauntlets wrapped around her neck.
She says, "You have seen Shen and you have taken his life?" She gasps. She says,
No, we did
"Horrible
not.
people, evil
No,
monsters."
No.
She
no.
gasps. She
No.
she
Bad
pulls her
guy.
cloak
Not
up over her
true.
head. She's turning. She starts running back towards the city.
Ah,
So I guess
I
that's a
don't
no.
remember.
Oh, 1 second. Gosh dang it, 1
But he
second.
was a bad guy. Wasn't he trying to destroy the city? I mean, what the fuck?
No, Deimos. No. No whole person.
No, gotta stop her. Thinks we're gonna be terrible people.
Here, Deimos. Why don't you?
You're casting hold person on her.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
she's, she's, she freezes in place, half stride away.
I'm
What?
gonna stop her,
Like,
and I'll be like,
smacking him, since
trust
he
me.
has
Okay.
disadvantage on
I don't
saving
want you to
throws.
tell these people the wrong thing. Number one, we're not gonna attack you guys. Number two, your brother, I don't even remember what he looks like, so there's no possible way we could have killed him. I mean, look at me. I got a cat.
she's tears are streaming down her face. She says, horrible monsters. She says, dark ones and assholes. She says,
I cast Dispel Magic.
okay.
All right, I grab her.
She says, do. She says,
No add rape to the
what are you
No,
going
no,
to do
no,
with
hell
me?
Let her go.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna let you go, alright? I just want you to settle down, and you can ask how your brother tried to kill your sister. Ask your sister about
Hang
that
on.
one.
I put my hand on
Probably work a
Deimos'
tree
shoulder and
into a
I
van for Deimos.
hang on. I put my hand on Deimos' shoulder and I dimension door 200 feet away.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. She just drops down to the ground and Deimos isn't there anymore. She looks up at you, Euphemia. She says, are you going to hurt me?
I'm gonna walk up and say,
No,
just
no,
go. Just go.
Yeah.
She flips her hood up and she turns around. She runs off into the dark.
Bye.
Guys, now she's gonna tell them we're bad people. We're good people.
We killed like half their guards.
Don't worry
They
about the
already
little
think we're
things.
bad
Don't worry
people.
about the little things.
God, fuck.
Details.
Come on. Deimos didn't kill no one. So in
Yes,
Deimos' eyes, we're all good people.
This escalated so quickly.
I honestly don't know what the hell we're gonna do.
But yeah, these guys are definitely
Was it?
racist.
But yeah, wasn't Shen the guy that wanted to destroy this kingdom or take it over?
Yeah,
Thought he was like considered a criminal.
he was a very bad guy. But yeah, so Deimos is starting to think that really the Emperor dude or whatever he is more of just a racist guy.
I still think we have like a lost in translation thing going. They don't know. It's even though they keep saying dark skin. I think there's some kind of thing we're not understanding. That is like
Well,
the major
alright.
point.
I say we take a rest, we think about it. Alright? Deimos, if it's okay with you guys, he wants to meet up with those dark-skinned people, and he wants to have a conversation with some of their higher-ups, and I think that way we'll be able to easily or better determine it, because
What
you
time
guys
is
are
it?
smarter than Deimos.
Oh, it's late at night right now. It's
Why don't
after
we
it's
get a long
after
rest?
midnight.
Yeah, that's what...
Okay.
And start in the morning, figure out what the fuck we're gonna do.
Okay. You're jumping into your
Right.
your little
The mansion should still be up.
All right. You guys hop back into the mansion. And you go to sleep for the evening. Okay. Next morning, the sun comes up. You are well taken care of and well rested within the walls of your mansion.
Deimos is gonna wake up with like murderers sprawled all over his room, everywhere.
Whoa, Deimos is the one who didn't murder nobody. I
Euphemia.
believe
Okay,
I brought
mother,
one back to
murderer?
life.
Yeah.
I'm a holy person. I'm a
Knife,
great holy
mother.
person.
In cave, murdered, took her soul all over his room.
First off, you guys don't know that.
There it is. There.
Yeah, but you guys can't see the soul get sucked out. I'm the only one who had that knife.
Is that true?
Euphemia, when you come out of your trance, what do you do in the morning when you wake up? Your trance is you still need 8 hours of rest. You don't sleep that
Four,
whole time. Yeah, you're 4 in a trance, but you still need 8 hours of rest to
Yeah.
accomplish a long rest. So what do you do?
Question, just side note.
Yeah.
If I get 4 hours, but something happens, does that still count as 4 hours of rest or a full long rest?
But by rule, long rest does not equate sleep. You can trance for 4 hours, but
So it's more like just I got 4 extra hours to watch and extra
Yeah.
stuff.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I do? I guess I just spend my time reading in the study area and ordering the ghost people around.
Okay.
And I tell a lot of them to go write murder on, Deimos' room.
Okay. So it's early. It's early. The other elves, Feldorn and Elwyn, have not popped outside in the mansion yet. Deimos is obviously still
I'm still
sleeping.
in the mansion.
Yeah, you're still in the mansion. You're sitting down in one of the parlors, with some.
Oh, and I'm gonna have a crossbow watching for that damn thief guy. If he tries to come in again.
That's funny you should say that, because from the corner,
Fired!
he was there before you got there. As you kind of enter the room, you kind of settle down. You issue some commands off to your unseen servants. You settle down for to open up a parchment to read it over, and then you notice he's in the corner and he's been watching you.
I'm still gonna fire the crossbow.
He ducks underneath it, just like pretty ungracefully, just falls down to the ground, and the crossbow strikes the wall above him, and he says,
And I'm gonna
"What?"
throw the crossbow.
He says, your version of hospitality is quite odd.
There's a guy that can come into a dimensional space beyond time and thing that's supposed to be protected by everyone.
He says, he says, I'm here. I'm your acquaintance. He says, I've done you no wrong. He says, and all I came was to do was to pay the lady a compliment.
Uh-huh.
He says, you're quite lovely in the mornings. That's all I wanted to say.
What do you know of this damn place?
He said, what? This area? He says, it's...
No, the damn people down there that are racist.
Oh, the slanty-eyed ones. He says, well, he says, I don't dabble much in backwoods cultures. They tend to keep to themselves. They have some arcane traditions, king worship and whatnot. I tend to not agree with those sorts of things. But, he says, he pats the big pouch at his side. He says, they do know their riches, and I have helped myself. Ha ha ha.
So I assume that you just snuck around and raided the city?
Oh, no. He says, the common folk? No. Only the dwelling places of the aristocrats, and I did not make it to the palace quite. But there were quite the number of houses of nobles that I purloined some belongings from. He says, you all did a wonderful job of creating a distraction within the city walls, I must say.
What is the chances that you're the evil warlord that Tempest wants us to destroy?
He says, he looks at her, he says, would you care to make a wager on that? I give you good odds. He's kind of laughing.
500 gold?
He says, "Oh, it would be 500 gold, poorly spent. He says, I would appreciate the donation to my cause."
Okay, I'll give you 500 gold if you're not the fucking murderer that's gonna just try to destroy us.
He says, deal.
Then did you hear anything in the city?
He says,
Do you know who might be the evil thing that Tempest wants destroyed?
he says, I don't know anything about Tempest. He says, the thick-headed one spoke of him and handed me these pamphlets. He says, I got to tell you, I did not read them. I wiped my ass with them when I went.
Don't worry, I don't think there's any words on them anyways.
Well, for the call of nature, they were quite convenient. He says, He says, within the city, as I was walking around, He says, I did notice something odd. There were... He says, I just got here. I'd been working till the wee hours of the morning. And there was a fair amount of activity. There were these dark-clad ones, just a handful, moving throughout the streets. I saw them leave one building and enter another. I just
Are we talking
assumed...
dark-clad in skin or dark-clad in
Clothing. I don't see racial color. I am a civilized and cultured individual, I did see some dark-clad individuals move from one building into another. They seemed to be hastily making their way and attempting to do so with a fair amount of stealth. I assumed that they were thieves in the same profession as I, a noble profession, so I paid them no mind. It's good to know that the city has its thieves. It keeps the nobles and the fat ones. It keeps them honest.
what building? Can you mark it on a map?
It says, why, yes, I can. I have an excellent memory for these things.
I put down a map for him to mark it with.
He says, well, you don't have a map of the city, but he takes out a parchment and pen, and as he reaches from you, he kind of looks at you. He says, your eyes, they kind of glitter with this soft moonlight grayish color. He says, quite lovely, quite lovely.
Would you have a Marion or maybe a maid to go after?
He smiles. He says, there are many maids who chase after Robin. He says, but none of them have been able to quite win my heart. He says, although he points at you, he says, hey, you might have a chance. Anyway, he kind of sketches out on the paper. This is the city walls. He diagrams. Or I'll just draw something. Do. So the city walls are kind of like this. Kind of, octagonally shaped. That's crappy. You guys entered through the main entrance this way. It goes up, and the keep itself was over here, the palace. He just kind of marks off a location right over here amongst an intersection of streets that they go around this way. He says, "It was a establishment. It looks like a residential area over here. The whole area seemed to be filled with home sides and dwelling places, that sort of thing. Not especially high end. Kind of a slum, honestly." Okay. He says, now, I would ask you, he says, what would that knowledge be worth to you?
Well, considering that you're sleeping and eating in my place, let's say it pays for your rent.
He says, I see. Well, he says, if you ever care for me to sleep and eat closer to where you are, he says, I'm a simple call away. Ha ha ha!
Well, if you bring us any good information, I'll give you actual money.
He says, money? Now you're speaking my language. Alright, around this time, the rest of the guys are kind of stirring. What are the rest of you guys doing?
For some reason, Deimos is puking in his mouth for... I don't even know why he's puking in his mouth. There's like some guy that was talking about terrible things.
Feldorn's just standing in his room working on those spells I emailed you.
Okay. Elwyn, what you up to?
Yeah.
I'll just go down and eat something until everybody's ready to go.
Alright. You come downstairs and you see Euphemia and Robin just kind of talking. and Robin looks at you while he says, "Ah, Elwyn," he says, "how rude of you to interrupt the Lady Euphemia and my personal private rendezvous."
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna turn around and go back to my room and think about what I've done.
All right. A little bit of time goes by. What are you guys gonna do?
Alright, so we're finished with our rest and everything?
Yes, it's morning.
Deimos gets up. He sees murderer, all these type of things, and he's just assuming it's all the souls of all the haters that he beat the crap out of, and he smiles. And he walks out of the room.
Okay.
Gonna eat some breakfast, do some little light workout.
So what's the plan, guys?
Well, what I think should we go to? Oh wait, we don't know about this map yet. Euphemia has it, right?
I tell him about him.
Oh, okay. I say, should we try this map thing? Infiltrate. We could try to make ourselves not look like ourselves, ish.
Do it.
All right, so you guys are gonna try to go back into the city.
I think we're gonna try to sneak in. To
Okay.
go to that X spot.
How are you expecting to do this?
You know it's flying.
All right.
Or I can
Deimos has an
teleport him,
idea.
technically.
A pretty good idea, he thinks.
We have like 3 dimension doors. Can't we just dimension door in?
You can try to do whatever you want.
We also have flying
has to be
castle
him.
thing.
What?
Call that down, just start walking over and smashing shit.
Yeah, that's all you need. More karma.
Oh yeah. Oh, ooh. Oh wait, no. That would take a teleport spell, and then we might need that. You can cast teleport what, once, right, Ellen?
I mean, we could use the Megazord to destroy the town. That might not be a bad idea.
I can teleport 3 times.
Okay, because Deimos was thinking, what happens if we see some people going into the town, like merchants or something, who have like a, I don't know, a wagon or something? You toss one of your daggers in that wagon or something like that. We wait till they get inside, do all their whole shenanigans, and then we all just teleport that way. And just hope they're not in a crowd of people.
Work?
Or we could dress up and sneak our way in.
Up to you guys, whatever you want to do.
I got an idea.
I'm all for trying to sneak our way in.
How big is the city?
The walled area is about a mile circumference. Not very large.
So looking at this X on the map that they kind of drew, if I were to fly pretty high and take a look down and locate the exact house,
Mhm.
come back down and then teleport us there?
Now you'd have a good working knowledge. You can try to land inside the building itself or outside the building or what?
Outside the building, like in an alleys.
You'd have a pretty good shot at it.
That? You guys think?
That sounds like a pretty good idea.
That's what I'll do. I'll put on my invisibility ring, fly up, get a good look at where it is.
Okay.
Get the
How closely
correct-
are you looking?
Yes. As close as I'm very confident that I can get the location right.
Okay, so you're flying up. You're aerially determining which building it is, and then you're going to fly closer to get a very good, like, crystal clear picture of it.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm invisible.
Okay. All right. So you do that. You do your reconnaissance. You head back to the rest of the group. Far, about a mile outside the city walls. You guys gather up together, and Robin says, "You going on your hero adventures and stuff." He says, "Good luck, enjoy." He says, "I will be around. There are more riches to be had, I believe. We're spending another day in the area." He says, "I have a whole nother side of town to purloin things from. Perhaps even the palace." Ooh.
I look at him and I'm like, don't make me destroy you.
He says, that sounds uncomfortable. He says, I wish that would not happen.
By the way, what do you guys think of the chances that Robin is, the super evil guy that you're after, Deimos?
I don't know, can I insight check Robin to see if he's the super evil guy that we're after?
How are you gonna, what in the hell are you gonna base that off of?
Good question.
Alright. You guys gather up together. And Elwin, you cast teleport. Roll me a D100.
Oh shit. You want me to just roll on the table?
Sure.
Wait, when I look at Robin, does he look the same or does he look different? Because remember, I could see through illusion or transmutation magic.
He looks the same.
Okay.
Okay. 1d10% of this. Okay. Alright. You cast teleport. You zap into place. You are inside a hot and like small kind of enclosed area. You guys suddenly just zap into place, and you look around and there's like a few tables there with boiling hot pots of water, and this smell of cooking food and boiling noodles and bread and that stuff in the area. There's an older lady just in the room as well with a fistful of vegetables and a crude kitchen knife in the other hand. It's not very large. So when you teleport into the area, you guys displace a bunch of stuff. Like a couple of tables turn over, a couple of shelves like collapse, and you guys are all telephone boothed into this one area, pressed up against this small, fairly elderly lady inside this hot kitchen. There's boiling water, just like very close to where you are. You almost managed to touch it, Elwin. And as this all happens in an instant, you guys boom appear there, and the lady's she all of a sudden just shoved up against the wall, pressed against their face, basically hemmed in by Deimos's shoulder, and she looks up at you all, and she starts to scream.
I cover her mouth.
I'm gonna
And
say,
I
this
pull
isn't
out-
where I parked my car.
Yeah, I pull out a couple of gold pieces, and I put it on the table with my other hand. I make a little shh noise, and I say, "Whoopsies."
All right.
Look for a secret passage or something.
Make a persuasion check, Deimos. So, Elwin, you teleported off target.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Would I happen? Would I get an idea of how far off target?
No, you have no idea.
No.
It's within a fair percentage of the area, but you're obviously somewhere in the town. We have no idea where you got sent.
So yeah, I pull out 10 gold coin pieces,
Okay.
and I make like the naughty motion up and down, and
Okay.
see if she responds.
She looks at the gold. She looks at your eyes. She looks at the gold.
Say once I actually pull out 2 more gold pieces and stick it on the table.
You see a sly look come to her eye, and she nods back at you.
I stick another gold piece on, and I'm just like give her like a thumbs up.
She smiles. She kind of you're all pushed in very closely, like you're all like it's in a telephone booth, all slammed together. But she nods and she you can see her try to stick up her little arthritic thumb as well.
Wait, do we have the map with us?
I don't know. Do you have the map with you?
We should have the
Yeah.
map with us.
Okay.
Feldorn pulls out the map and points at the X and kind of like, trying to ask if she could tell us where it's at, and I throw 10 more gold on the table.
And we just made this lady's day.
She points. She's like turning her head to try to orient herself to the map. Your hand, your meaty hand, still covering her mouth. she looks at it.
I pulled away.
And you hear her talking in this weird, this odd language, and she says, "Tao Xing, how are you?" And she points out the window off to the west.
Well,
Well,
in the city.
Do I? It's like, is this like just like a room, or is it like the whole building that we just smushed her in?
You guys teleported into the kitchen of this building. So I mean, you don't know much more.
All right. It can on the way out or anywhere.
You do hear voices and stuff. There's other people in the building.
We don't see any like other, like let's say like chef clothing or any other type of things we could throw on.
No, this is very simple. It was just her and a few tables with some instrument, some cooking utensils, and now
We
there's.
don't have any cloaks or anything?
She doesn't have any. I don't know what you guys have.
No, I mean,
Nah. All right.
I have a cloak, so I can cloak
I
myself.
say we
so-
nonchalantly walk out, guys. They'll never figure it out.
I have a cloak, so I'm fully covered.
Okay. Now,
I drink my potion of invisibility.
okay. I was gonna say, you guys know that you
I
guys
can make a potion of invisibility if anyone wants one.
are inside a city that you were told to leave. This is a city that's heavily populated. There's guards everywhere, usually.
So
right,
Euphemia is good.
We slightly
Feldorn,
peek
you're
out
good.
the door. What do we see?
You lean over, so make a perception check.
I'll use 2 charges. I'll cast invisibility on myself and then twin it so I can make Deimos invisible.
Okay. You look around the corner of the door, Deimos, and you see off through another room on the other side of the room that this is a small, basically a small restaurant, right? Not very large, maybe 4 or 5 tables, and there's only 2 tables that are occupied, but one is occupied by a bunch of guys who look like they're farmers. About 3 guys. Another one has a table with 2 guards sitting at it, just eating and waiting patiently for their noodles.
All right, so we're all invisible, right?
Wait. So what happened? So Feldorn is invisible. Elwyn's invisible. Euphemia, you used your thing to make a potion.
I said I could, but I'm gonna just use my cloak.
Your cloak makes you invisible? Or you're just gonna
No.
walk out
But
disguised?
it's a cloak.
Okay. You're
I'm
gonna
just
cover.
walking with disguise.
All right, Deimos, what are you doing?
Apparently, Deimos is invisible.
Yeah, I twinned invisible.
Okay. All right. So Euphemia, you're the only one who's visible currently.
Sure.
All right. So you guys start. What do? You want to walk out?
We stick the old lady in front of us. So she opens the door first, then we all kind of scuttle out. And,
Okay. She
I'll
says.
waste a spell
she-
slot
she
and I'll
waves-
disguise myself.
She waves a hand. She says, "Hold on one second." She gets a bowl. She leans down to the ground where you guys had knocked over a pot. She scrapes a bunch of noodles into it, off the floor, and she holds the bowl. She puts the bowl on a tray. She says. She points to the door. She's. Now. She opens the door. She walks out, and you see her shuffle over to the table where the farmers are, and she delivers the bowl of noodles to them.
we slowly walk out. Ridiculously stealthy.
All right. Those of you who are stealthing out, roll stealth.
Oh, wait a second. You said there was a window, right? Can Deimos fit through our window?
No, it's a small window.
Damn it.
All right, roll stealth.
Alright, slightly better.
Why are we stealthing out of a noodle shop? I'm just wondering.
There we go.
There's 3 farmers and 2 guards eating in the noodle shop. Okay, so
I'm gonna jump out the window.
it's too small. It's like the size of a piece of paper.
There's no back door?
No, this is not. This place is not up to code. So Euphemia, you're casting Alter Self or Disguise Self?
Nah, I'm just gonna go out.
Just
in
gonna
my
walk
cloak.
out? Okay. Alright, so you walk out. You're invisible. The friends are behind you, trying to remain stealthy. Elwyn, you're like a cat. Moving along on his own. Feldorn, likewise, you are moving ever so gingerly. Deimos,
Deimos, well, in no way that he's a little clanky. He came prepared for this because he knows it's very difficult.
you're walking
he
in
has
plate
this-
armor. You're clinking along the floor.
Yeah, he's got the zirconium, zircon or whatever it is. This gemstone.
Yeah.
And when some stuff starts happening, he kind of like flicks it to the side so it can like start rolling across the floor or whatever.
Uh huh.
So maybe people see that gem, and people will kind of ignore the noise a little bit as they see a nice 50 gold piece gem rolling across the floor.
All right. So you're walking across the room. Your armor is clinking and clattering together, and your heavy greaved boots are stomping on the ground. You're trying to be stealthy, but you're not doing a very good job. The rest of your party is moving ahead of you quite stealthily. The heavy clumps of your boots fall, and as you do, you brush a table, and like the table basically just shifts and makes this sound across the ground as you kind of shift it over. All the people in the room just kind of like pause for a second and they glance over your way, just slightly curiously. You flick the zirconium across the floor, and as it rolls, their eyes just kind of stop and glance towards it. The farmers they look at the zirconium and they start pointing at it, and one of them leans over to pick it up. The guards are looking at you, Euphemia. Deimos was close enough to you that they think you caused it, and they're just kind of just glancing at you a little bit curiously, and you see that their curiosity begins to turn to suspicion.
Wait, are any of the farmers near the guards?
So inside the so here's the room. The door is here. Right? There's a table here where the guards are. Table here where the farmers are. There's a couple more tables. Like that. The farmers are here, like I said. The guards are here. You guys are coming out this way. Like that. Okay? So Euphemia is like right there. And the guards are just kind of staring at her. The farmers are on the ground looking at the gem. The guards are just kind of looking at you, Euphemia.
I'm just gonna strike slightly and keep going.
Okay. The rest
Have
of you
I
guys.
picked up any like swear words though?
No. You hear them muttering to each other as you leave. That you hear them, yeah, just a little bit of murmuring going on. As you walk out, Elwyn, you were kind of last in line. You see the guards kind of like just like stand up, pick up their stuff, and leaving their food uneaten. They start making their way towards the door.
Does anyone else see it, or just Elwyn?
Elwyn's the last one to leave the room, so he sees it.
Okay.
Does it look like they're going after Euphemia?
It looks like they've at least their curiosity has been aroused. So kind of like a cop who sees somebody with a tail light out, we'll just start following him.
I'm gonna follow too, just in case something happens.
Okay. You guys empty out into a smaller street. It's fairly narrow and wide enough for a cart, like a mule-drawn cart to make its way through, and a pedestrian to cross on the side of it. But not much wider than that. There's buildings and wooden shacks all over the place. There's people going back and forth. There's a smell of this is not a very rich area of town. You know, there's a smell of garbage and food and basically humanity in the air. Okay, so there's people kind of mulling about all around you. Euphemia, you crossed out into the street, hood covered, covering your head in your dark cloak, and you just start walking. A few paces behind you, the guards come out, and and the rest of you guys can see them following her as she walks down the street. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm gonna try to get ahead of the guards so I can, within earshot of. Well, I'm not gonna shout, but I want to get up close to Euphemia, next to her,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna tell her either to try to lose them in the crowd that we're gonna be following her.
Okay.
But go in the direction that that we have to go in.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm basically gonna find the biggest crowd and just, blend in.
Okay. So you guys make your way out, and looking around, the best you can tell by your bearings, you guys are around here somewhere, like city center. And Euphemia, you start heading west in that direction. Okay. As you're mulling about, it takes a little while, a couple blocks, before you see a sizable group of people, and you move in that direction to try to lose yourself in it. The guards are moving behind you.
How about this? I'm gonna find, if that doesn't lose them, I'm gonna take a corner into an alleyway.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna do a dash, and then I'm gonna run up the side of a building.
All right.
I'm
So,
gonna Batman it.
all right. As you
Actually, hang on.
okay.
I'm gonna follow like close behind the guards, and as soon as they get into the crowd of people, I'm gonna throw 1,000 gold up into the air.
Okay.
Don't alter this shit. That's just so fucking trope.
All right. All right. So,
That way, it'll help her kind of get lost as the people try to gather around the.
Make some money.
all right. So you guys hit the crowd, and as it happens, Felderin tosses all this gold, glittering, shining through the air, up through the air, and people are surprised by it, and it comes out of like almost nowhere, but no one really sees where it comes from. But as the ground begins to hit the ground, people start pointing and shouting, and getting excited, and they all start diving for this gold. The guards are lost in this in this chaos of people just diving for money all over the place. And Euphemia, you sneak off and you find an alleyway that you kind of like duck into, and you have lost the guards.
I still want to climb a building. I'm just gonna go straight up climb it.
Okay, roll athletics.
I don't have to.
Well, which building are you climbing?
I'm Spider-Man.
You're Spider-Man?
Yeah, I'm Spider-Man. I'm just gonna walk up the side of the building.
Okay, well, roll athletics.
I don't have to.
How are you Spider-Man?
Look of spider shit.
Oh, that's not attunement? Let's see, Cloak
It's
of
attunement.
Arachnid. Oh,
I'm
you
attuned to it.
are attuned to it, okay. Alright. You spider your way up the side of a building. The buildings here, you see, there are a few of them that are 2 stories tall, but nothing taller than that. So you make your way up the, I guess, I'm assuming one of the taller buildings, like a 2-story building. It's
Yeah,
wooden.
but then I come down because there's no point.
Okay. It's a wooden building. It creaks a little bit as you attach yourself to the side of it, but you make your way up and back down safely. What are you guys doing?
Or we just keep heading towards the place we're supposed to go to.
Okay. You guys travel for a few more minutes. It takes you about 5 to 7 minutes as you make your way through a little bit of a crowded city. Euphemia, you manage to keep your disguise intact. You do gather a couple looks, but no one is really paying too much attention to a person in a black cloak. The rest of you guys are still invisible. You make your way, and you gather around what seems to be this house that Robin was referring to. It's in a residential kind of area, so all around you are single-story, like very small kind of huts, and it seems to be a house that has several rooms in it, but it's definitely a dwelling place of some sort. Go ahead and roll perception, whoever's out there.
Perception.
Okay, Deimos and Feldorn, the two of you catch what sounds like people whispered or talking inside, some fairly hurried and rushed talking, along with a lady crying.
Can I investigate for a secret passage?
Into the house?
Oh, we're not in the house?
No, you're not inside the house. You're outside the house. You're standing in the street
Break in
right
the
now.
house. I'm gonna break in the house. I'm gonna smash the door open.
Alright, you kick the door in. You go inside, and inside there you see three people, sitting around basically a small living area. One is a middle-aged lady, her hands and her eyes currently in a cloth that she's holding in her hands, and she's the one sobbing. There's a man about her age off to her side with his arm around her, and a younger man, probably in his late teens or early 20s, seated by them. They startle when you come in. The younger man stands up, and he rushes over and he grabs like a broomstick from the corner, and he points it at you. And you hear him shout out. He says, "What are you doing here? Have you?"
Oh, someone was speaking to us. Oh.
Yeah. So you're the one who broke in, Euphemia. He says, "Have you come to take the rest of us as well?"
I'm gonna sigh heavily. I thought the people that came here last night this was their base.
He says, "What?" He says, "You evil ones." He says, "You took my sister!" And he rushes at you, Euphemia, holding the broom.
I'm just gonna like flick him in the nose.
Okay, all right.
I'll take the broom then flick him in the nose.
All right. It doesn't take much for you to deflect the broom and to like push him in his face a little bit, and he kind of like rolls off to the side. He's not a very big guy, but he clatters into the wall, knocks over a small end table and some stuff with it as well. The woman is crying more. The dad stands up, and he's a little bit older. He's shouting. He's like, "No, no, no! Whatever you want, not my son. Don't hurt my son."
Not gonna hurt your son. We came here looking for the people that took his sister. We thought they lived here.
They look up at you and he says, "You are not one of them?"
No.
He says, You are not one of, here, I'm gonna type it. "You are not one of the dark skies?"
No, but we are looking for them because we want to destroy them. Can you help us?
They glance back and forth and they say, "We dare not. They
Come
already,"
on.
he says, "they already have taken a toll of one of us. If we were to speak, I would lose my son and my wife as well. Yes, we dare
can put
not."
an end to them. We can kill them all. We'll get your sister, your daughter back. It'll be easy.
She says, "You cannot do that. You are but one person."
But I'm the best.
Demo starts flipping
And I
stuff.
create and I like just point my hands and I dispel Deimos' magic, and I
No, no, no,
like
don't do that.
see, look at
No,
I
no, no,
make
no, no.
people.
Deimos will pretend you have even more power.
No, I make people, and I bring Deimos into existence.
You have dispel magic.
Because I dispel. Yeah, I dispel magic, and I have my gauntlet. What
You
do
just
you
have
want
to
me
tell
to do? I'll
Deimos.
do it.
Deimos
Just
can
as
break
long-
Dispel magic
Okay.
for sure. You cast
That
dispel
kind of
magic.
thing.
No, let's see if Deimos will. Deimos, dispel yourself.
All right, you see, Deimos will pick up a very large thing and throw it against the wall. It becomes visible.
As you become visible.
Yeah, I think if you make an attack with lesser invisibility, you become visible, right?
Well, it's not technically attack. If you pick something up and you just like throw it across the room.
That is menacing, though.
All right, then I will start yelling as I throw stuff around. and
All
I'll
right,
be
all right, all right, at this point-
I am Deimos, the super almost god. You
Okay.
will obey this lady.
All right, at this point, the guys are freaking out. The woman starts crying even more. The man says, "Whatever you want, please take it. Just do not hurt my family."
We're here to kill bad people.
He says,
The
"Do not
people who
harm
took
us."
Your daughter. She is a chosen one. We must get her back. Tell us where they are.
She says, "I don't know." He says,
You
"Please
have-
do not harm us."
Any possible ideas? I am an omnipotent god, but I totally want you to kind of tell me ish of the general leads you have.
They all start pointing, and
I can't control this thing forever. You have to tell him the truth.
all right, Deimos, roll intimidation.
These are all terrible.
Can I roll a persuasion? you
Sure.
said?
Yes,
Oh,
you can roll
I'm the one
persuasion as well.
that- Okay. Whoops. What the? I'm able to open a window using window link. What the fuck?
What?
Every time I click my persuasion skill, I get this message. Unable to open a window using window link because no model contains this link is open.
I have no idea what that means.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. All right. Well, your roll is better than my roll. All right. They shy away. They all cower away from Deimos as he's there flipping tables and trying to talk in a deep voice. And you kind of get down on their level, and you say to them, what do you say to them?
You must tell the ultimate Deimos, summoned creature of destruction, the truth.
Okay.
Hey, Midas. While
Yeah.
she's talking to them, Feldorn walks up behind the sun and whispers in his ear, saying, "Listen, don't be scared. We want to help you. If you let yourself get caught, we can find you. This fear you're about to feel is my way of keeping track of you. Nothing
Give
will
that kid a
happen
heart
to you.
attack.
I promise." As
Okay.
I attach my shadow hound to him.
Okay. He shudders a little bit, and you can see his pants start to get wet as he pisses himself. Sitting there on the floor, he just starts shaking. The parents don't really notice that. They're looking at you, Euphemia, and they say, these you are the ones who entered our town yesterday, and you. The chaos that you brought. The Lord has ordered your death, and death to any who are associated with you. He says, we do not fear death. Our loss has been too great. You can see he and his wife are very emotional about this. He says, this is my second daughter who has been stolen. All I have left is my boy. He says, we would welcome death.
Death is for the weak, you fools. He starts throwing more shit around.
The wife just whimpers and cries even more. He says, they come at night. They take the young. He says, they do not return them. They say that it is for our safety. They say that it is to appease the one in the dark skies. He says,
Put one in the dark skies.
he looks up, he says, I don't know. But they are cruel, and they are ruthless.
Let us use your son as bait.
He says, no, please, my son is all I have left.
Totally quote-unquote a god. Trust me, I will give you great things.
He looks up at Euphemia, he says, this one is oddly smelly and stupid sounding.
I'm from the southern towns of the godhood. Interbred.
I'm getting this picture that Deimos is acting like the great Namekian from that Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, he's doing it
abridged.
really bad.
No.
Alright, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna look at the sun. The sun. You want to save your sister? Are you brave enough to help us?
Alright, he's pissing his pants now because Feldorn freaked him out by whispering into his ear and
took away all the
attaching his
bravery.
shadow to him.
It's actually a sense of dread, not fear.
Alright, Dread.
Right, which I
What's
guess
the
would still cause
definitional
him.
difference?
Which I guess would still cause him to piss his pants.
Elwin, what are you doing?
I'm just enjoying the show.
Okay, you're still invisible, so you're just watching. Alright, what are you guys gonna do? So you had this family here, I mean, you obviously had their attention. The kid is kind of like wetting himself, is beginning to spread across the floor.
So you're saying if we, so you're saying if we, let these people know you told somebody about the dark, whatever the fudge they're called, they'll come back for your son, right?
They gasp, they look around, and they look, no! Marnin, he says, they will take my son.
But it's okay. We'll crush them. We already accidentally killed your king.
Alright.
And brought him back to life.
Alright, it's gonna take one hell of a persuasion check to make them go along with us.
And we killed what's his name? The prince.
Oh, Shen Lim?
Yeah.
Yes.
We killed Phil Lim. And his pirate lord.
We
friends.
also have a cat.
Alright, when you mentioned
Great
Shen
cat.
Lim,
Fuck.
they kind of stop for a second, and they look up at you and they say, you know of Shen? And they look back and forth and they
Yeah. Did you like him?
say, he was a disgrace. Great
Good.
dishonor.
We murdered him. We killed the crap out of him.
Great dishonor to our people. You say, if you were the slayers of Shem, he says, perhaps, and if you are the ones who brought the fire to the palace yesterday, the mom, the mother is the one who speaks. She says, then maybe you are the ones who can save our daughters. If they can still be saved. She says, Marnin. She looks at her son. He says, please, you will protect him, correct?
We'll fuck anyone up who touches him in a bad way.
We'll protect him as good as we protected this old lady that was stabbed with a knife.
He says,
Right, Amos?
But even better than that one.
he says,
So much better.
he says, alright, just, we will do as you say. Our loss is too great. She says, Marnin, please be safe.
And if you want your son to do even better, pray to Tempest and work out every day.
She says, this one scares us.
Yes.
Please never allow him to speak in our house again.
I can't promise that. We can kill gods, we can destroy demons.
Alright.
Can't shut him up.
It sounds like you guys are trying to set up a trap, so what are you doing?
Other than follow the kid, how do we?
I say we
I don't know
stick
how
the
we're gonna
kid
get- I don't know how
in the
how are we gonna
road
get
and
the
put a
shadow
sign
people
on
to
his
take
back
the
that
kid?
says, super undefended kid.
Okay.
That doesn't sound.
Well, they come at night anyway, right? And take the children. So, what if we just wait for them to come?
Yeah, but they don't come for like 2 weeks. Can't really. We got one night to do this, really.
The great and glorious Deimos will say one thing more. Why do they take kids? Do they have certain things which make them take kids?
Roll. No. Alright, roll a d20.
Deimos is not very good at this talking thing.
We don't know. We don't know. He says,
Fair enough.
all we know is that they take only the girls.
Oh, how old's this boy?
He's about 18.
Haha. Alright. You're gonna learn today, son. We're gonna take him get a. What do you guys think about taking this guy to get a wardrobe change?
Felden, what are you doing?
Don't
I
you
was
have
insight checking the parents to see if they were being honest.
Don't you have a dress ready?
Heck yeah, I still have a fancy dress.
They have no reason to lie to you guys.
Deimos only had this dress since like session 8.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
I say we now Deimos is actually talking out loud while he's doing this. I say we dress that boy up as a super hot girl, or at least passable girl, and then stick him walk around the streets so he gets
Want to
kidnapped.
make an Asian trap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you're gonna try to dress this kid up?
Yeah, dress him up as a passable lady.
All right. How are you doing this? And then what
Well, I got a nice, luxurious dress. If not, we'll buy him a new one that fits him. We'll stick some hair stuff on him. We'll stick some stuff on his chest to make him look like he has some titties. And we'll make him up.
as you start trying to make these suggestions, the mother says, "What are you doing?" She says,
Um.
"Everyone knows that we have a son and 2 daughters." She said, "What sense does this make?"
Oh. And you
Well
want
They're
done.
to
very powerful gods. We're not very smart.
Feldorn can't hold it in anymore and just bursts out laughing.
Ah, shit, guys. Hey, people. Who just has a good-looking daughter?
She says, "Our neighbors have a very young child."
No, not young, but like one that's gonna get kidnapped.
"Yes, she is perhaps 5 years old."
They're gonna kidnap a 5-year-old daughter.
She says, "Yes."
These are some sick sons of bitches. Alright, I say we go over there.
Well, if they only kidnap girls, I call back my Shadowhound.
Okay. The
That
young
says-
boy gradually ceases pissing his pants.
And I say, why the fuck didn't you tell us at the beginning? I mean, you guys made us literally waste about 5 minutes.
Can I do an investigation of the house to see if I can find any clues that the people that came here last night left?
Okay, sure. Roll
Trying to get
investigation.
something out
Can I
of this
assist her with it,
waste
or
of
give her a
fucking
guidance or
time.
something?
Sure.
Get that D4.
Roll a d4 also.
Oh, D4? Where's my D4s? That's D4.
Well,
Snake.
Oh, that's D8.
we'll count that as a 4. All right. You start looking around, and you see evidence of entry. Looking at the ground, you can tell that they weren't exactly stealthy. Like, they didn't do an excellent job of covering their tracks. You can tell that they weren't. Maybe they weren't even trying. You don't know. But you count about 5 sets of footsteps that have entered the house. That are not necessarily, with that kind of investigation check, you can tell all this. They're not necessarily any of the family that's currently there, that recently entered. They stole the girl away last night sometime and just left.
Wait, didn't you say they had 2 daughters?
The first one also got stolen too.
Oh,
A while ago.
okay.
This was the second time that they were hit.
All right, I say we go to that next neighbor's house, which has that younger daughter, and try to get something to happen.
Okay.
Maybe we should just wait at night and, just watch the city.
That's a good point too.
Because we don't know where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Okay, is that what you guys are doing?
I'm still invisible, right?
Yeah.
I walk over to Owen and I say, hey, let's go talk to the neighbors.
Okay.
Okay. You go next door and you see a mother and a young girl, just kind of off in the yard playing. Just not in the yard, it's like in the front of the house.
I attach my shadow hound quickly to the young girl.
Okay. You see her begin to cry for a little bit. Seems she's scared. She runs off to her mommy. The mom just not quite sure what happened, but not quite too worried about it since she's a girl. A little kid, and little kids will just randomly break off into tears once in a while. She grabs her kid. She hushes her. She picks her up, and she brings her inside the house. And you're not quite sure. You can't see anymore, but you assume that
I follow her inside the house.
All right. She gives her.
I'm still invisible.
She gives her some sweet bread, or some sweet rice, and after a little while, a coaxing and rocking the kid back and forth, the kid stops crying, and returns to playing.
I kind of whisper in the mom's ear, and I whisper, look, I have a feeling your daughter's going to get kidnapped. Right now you can't see me, but I'm here to help you and here to protect your child.
20
I
gold
won't
says
let-
she doesn't understand common.
I won't let anything happen to her,
Okay.
but I need to let her get kidnapped so we can find out who these kidnappers are, and I can destroy them all.
All right. Just make a persuasion check.
Can you roll a dice to see if she understands common?
Sure.
Seriously, why are you always trying to fuck up all our plans?
Just common sense, maybe?
All right. Your
Nope.
persuasion
Should
check.
we don't
My
really use it?
persuasion check is good. Oh, that's perception. Nope, still
That's
garbage.
Roll just a straight d20. All right. You see her begin to shake and shudder. And she glances around the room, and she grabs her daughter and she whispers to her, and she rushes off to the room next door, and she begins to pack things up.
Good job, good job.
Alright, Owen, please, before I hurt somebody.
I'm gonna walk up to the lady and say, "Look, this will not only
You're not visible, right? You're invisible.
I'll become visible."
Okay.
Oh, wait, are we outside?
You're inside the house.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll become visible. And I'm gonna like touch the lady on the shoulder, and I'm gonna say, "Look, this is for the good of everybody. I promise you, nothing is gonna happen to your daughter. We're gonna be here to take care of her, and we're gonna stop all the kidnappings all over the city."
Okay. Roll persuasion. All right. As you become visible and you look her in the eyes and you begin to say these things, you see her begin to stop, and she says something. You hear her speak back in crystal clear common. She says, "I know my daughter is of age, and that she is one who would have been desired. If you can protect her, then I will stay and I will release her to whatever her fate will be."
I can. Yes, we can protect her.
Okay? All right. She nods and she kind of holds her daughter, and she keeps rocking her and singing to her. Just, we will stay here.
Unfortunately, since my invisibility is from a potion, I can't really drop it.
Okay.
But
Smack me.
I reach into my component pouch and I pull out. I'm assuming there has to be some kind of flower or something in my component pouch.
Yeah.
I pull out a flower and I hand it to the little girl.
Okay. All right. So she takes a small, yellowish flower. That's one of your spell components, and she looks at it. But it's an innocent enough item, and she holds on to it, and she kind of stops crying, and she begins to play with it, and she shows it to her mommy and that kind of stuff. So it seems to be distracting her.
So I walk over to Elwyn and I ask, "Hey, is there any way that any spell that you have that could keep me and you in contact?"
No, I just have the message cantrip, but I have to be within eyesight of you. I can't see you.
I go, "Well, shit," because I could have.
Oh
cast-
no! I don't have to see you. I just have to be within range.
What's the range on it?
20 feet.
Yeah. You guys are probably going to leave the town. I was going to cast darkness on myself and hide in a corner somewhere at night.
Oh,
Wait to see what happens.
I thought we were just gonna spend the night at the neighbor's house. That way, when they take her, we can follow them from here. And
Well,
we're
yeah,
already
well-
in the city.
And would that be able to work? Him use message kind of like a walkie-talkie?
Within range.
Well, if they stay at the neighbor's house.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Oh, cool. That'll work then. Because I could just stay here and hide in a corner somewhere with magical darkness. I'm assuming this is like feudal China where there are no real lights.
Yeah, just like lanterns and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys have sort of a plan put together. Anything else you're gonna do?
I let the mom know that so she doesn't get scared when my invisibility drops and she sees me all of a sudden.
Okay. All right. So you've worked things out with the mom and the situation. It seems like she's willing to go along with what you're doing. Anything else?
Nope.
All right.
I'm gonna ask what time they came.
The father
What
says
time do they usually come?
late at night, when the stars are bright in the sky.
1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 a.m., whatever.
Okay.
The iron flask was empty, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Did Killdrag take that with him? Or do you?
No, he threw it all in the party inventory.
Okay.
I would assume he threw that in the party
I don't know,
inventory. I don't think he's that stupid.
I don't know if he took it with him or not.
No, he said he was throwing all his stuff in the party inventory when he left.
Okay.
We only kept like a couple of things.
All right. What else you guys gonna do? Anything else in preparation?
I asked the people of the inside that house that had the sun to go buy some local clothing and stuff that would fit us, and like a cloak or something.
Okay. So, for you guys, or are you just like local disguises?
Pretty much like a local disguise, so if people glance at us, they're not going to instantly think we're the bad people.
All right. So they manage, after a while, you guys manage to talk them into doing something like that. They provide you some clothing. You guys hand them a little bit of gold. They rush off to the market. They bring back some cloaks and stuff, just local attire, cloaks and whatever blankets and that kind of stuff. So you can move around a little bit more freely.
Before, when night starts to fall, I'm gonna go find the tallest building and climb up to it and watch. See if I can see the dark people going through the streets.
Okay. All right.
It's just
My preparation.
so out of curiosity, staying in this house with this lady and her daughter. Does it look like she's a single mom?
Yes. Yes. For sure.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So you guys do all that. You set that up. The rest of the day goes by fairly quickly as you just watch and listen and learn. As night falls, I keep forgetting I can do this, but I can actually change the color. Nighttime falls. Euphemia, roll me a perception check. Okay. Let's see. Feldorn, roll me a d20. Alright. As night falls, you guys are in place. You set up at least some kind of situation where you'll be able to see and experience what exactly happens. Deep into the night, 3 a.m., 2 a.m., it's darkest out. The lights that keep parts of the city illuminated have burned low, so it's the darkest part of the night. Euphemia, you notice some movement in the street adjoining the house that you guys were eyeing. You glance over and you see 5 individuals wearing dark clothing, just kind of moving together in a line, fairly quickly, but they're not running like ninjas would or anything like that. They're just walking fairly fast, and you can tell they're obviously trying to avoid detection or trying to draw too much attention to themselves.
Okay, I'm going to jump off and spread my wings and fly over them. Just keep a watch.
Okay. All right, you stay high enough so as not to draw attention, and you watch them as they move to a house, not quite the house that Feldorn's in, or the one where the girl was. They move to a house set like 5 or 6 places down, and they come to the doorway, and they draw out from behind them what look like these daggers, and they make their way inside the house, pushing hard, and it seems to be unlocked. They head inside, and a few minutes later, you see them carrying a muffle, a small, like, person, covered with a white cloth, who seems to be unconscious or sleeping or something like that. And 2 of them take that one, and they head off to the north. The other 3 continue walking over to where the house where where Feldorn was watching, and they enter and do the same thing.
I'm going to follow the other 2.
Okay. All right, Feldorn. So you were in the joining house, or were you in that house?
I was in the house with the little girl. I was like in a corner somewhere, and I guess when I would have heard them trying to jimmy the door, I would have cast darkness on myself.
Okay. As you do that, they break into the room, and you see them, hooded individuals with these dark cloaks that obscure their faces, move over to where the girl's bed chamber is. One of them goes, the other one stands at the doorway to make sure that no one interferes. And they're keeping eyes on the mother, making sure she doesn't protest or anything like that. The mother is awake, looking at them, but she stays completely silent. And one of the cultists is just glaring at her. Just making sure, and just like this massive presence of intimidation, and the mother just remains quiet as they take the girl and they walk away into the night. The mother does barely lets out even a whimper.
Does that guy stay behind while the other dude goes off, or do they
Just
both go off at the same?
a split second, and then they go off together.
So I just keep Oh, I don't have to concentrate on it, but I kind of let my senses flow through the Shadowhound to know which direction they're going and how far they are.
Okay, they're heading off in the same direction as Euphemia is following the other two. They head north, and as they're heading north, they meet up with two other parties of individuals from different sections of the city. So there's about 10 of them in total, carrying four smaller people of various age off. And as they head off to the wealthier side of town, it seems, you see them go around back of a fairly established estate and head in through a door that looks like it leads down to a cellar or chamber below.
You told us, right,
So,
that they came and...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I let Elwyn know that they came and took the girl, and then I'm tracking them with the Shadowhound.
Alright.
so
So I'll wake Deimos or whatever, and so...
Damon's going to stay slightly back just because he knows he's a little bit louder no matter what he does.
Okay.
And I'll meet up with Feldorn, and I'll tell him I'm gonna go invisible, but I'll be following you. Or Deimos, do you want me to invisible you too?
Could, they would probably help Damos out a lot.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Feldorn has no way of being invisible.
Yeah, but you're a lot sneakier than Deimos, right?
I'm wearing half plate.
We'll do this. I will twin the invisibility spell on both of you, and I'll
You can
I'll
fly.
just pull up. Yeah, I can fly.
Okay.
I mean, technically the three of us can fly. I am casting fly at 5th level, so I could target 3 people.
Well, I can fly by myself. You can only cast it on you and him.
I'm like, hey. I touch Deimos and say, do you believe you can fly?
Damos always believed he could fly.
And I guess we both start flying.
Okay. Alright. So you guys meet up in the skies with Euphemia, essentially. And you see them head over to this location and enter this underground area together, carrying 4 smallish bodies. What do you guys do?
I'm almost tempted to Superman through the ceiling of the house.
Yeah, what happens if we
Beat some
just break in
people
and
up.
just murder everyone?
Because then we're gonna draw attention. Let's try to sneak in. I mean, you guys are invisible anyway.
So are they going into a house? Does it look like it's like part of a bunch of stuff, or?
They look like they're going into the cellar, like an outdoor entrance to a cellar, beneath a fairly sizable house. It looks like a wealthier estate kind of thing.
Should we wait like a little bit after those people go down and then try to follow in after?
Yeah, let's give them a few seconds to get ahead of us so that they don't scream for guards or something if we break in.
Okay.
I doubt the stream for guards. Unless they are guards.
Okay. So you wait a little while. Give them a minute. Nothing else happens. You don't see anything. You hear nothing from around. What do you guys do?
And we go check the cellar door that they went into.
Okay. It does not open.
Break
Oh,
it
it's
open.
locked?
It's locked.
How locked?
It does not open when you yank on it.
All right, I didn't know if it was like a
Is it
chain
wood?
lock or like
Yes, it's wood.
Break it open.
Deimos?
Break it open. We're wasting time now.
I mean, if you guys insist. So the thief of the party is gonna punch the door open.
Yep.
All right.
I'm a thief.
Okay.
Actually, wait. I'm not gonna punch it open. It's like a latch. It's like any way I can just try to rip it off because that makes slightly less noise.
Sure.
Just
Sure.
use lock and pick. You know, your left and right hands.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Euphemia have a chime of opening?
I'm not gonna waste the time on opening on this. Just break it open. It's a one fucking door.
I'm gonna actually go for the hinges
Oh
and
God,
stuff
I break
on
it
it, or
open.
just the edges. I'm gonna
I
try to
have
just pull the thing
25
off.
strength. I want to smash the door.
Okay. So you hit it. All right. So Euphemia, roll dexterity saving throw.
What?
I
It's
said
a smash. Where's the dex?
I said roll dexterity saving throw.
What? God damn it. This is your fault, Demus.
Should have used
But
the
I have
chime
lots
of
of decks.
opening.
What are you talking about? Daniel's going to open the door.
Yeah.
Fuck
All right.
you off.
All right. You burst the door open. As you shove it through, you see you shove it through with such force that the apparatus that was attached to it, basically booby trapping the door, gets torn off with it and goes clattering down into the cellar below. You look down and you see a staircase about 3 or 4 steps, about 6 or 7 steps down, leading down into like a dark passageway, lit by torchlight.
What did Ellen say?
He says should have used the chime of opening.
Oh, fuck that. I'm opening. It's too fucking good.
Okay.
Yep, it's so good you'll never use it.
I've used it like 5 times. So fuck it.
What are you guys doing?
I'm
Actually,
walking
Daniel
downstairs.
decides we should go back to where that girl got stuck underneath in the cave where we got that chime of opening because he's sad about it now.
Well, if
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah.
made that much noise, then I'm going in.
Yeah, let's book it. Actually,
I think-
before we
wait, how
book
many
it,
people even remember her?
let's see who wants to go first because there might be more traps.
Deimos, I think you and Elwin are the only ones that know her other than me.
Oh yeah. Wait, but who wants to go first?
Well, since I broke through, I'm going first. You know,
Okay.
since our big strong guy is too scared.
No,
of
Damos would go
doors.
first if you want. I mean,
No,
he was
no,
gonna
see,
rip.
he
He was gonna
was-
rip the
he was
door
too
off. He
slow.
didn't. All right. I mean, if you
He's
want to
just-
go,
I'm the
go.
one that broke the door open, so he's going last. Like
Girl,
he
you
is.
do you, girl.
Feldorn kind of holds Owen back and says, let's stay at least 20 feet behind them.
Okay. So Deimos was going first.
I'm going first.
All right.
I'm the
So
one that broke the door open.
Euphemia goes charging in.
All
Right.
right. Well, after she charges in, I'm just like, oh no, wait, stop. I was gonna go help you, but if she charges in, since I'm going second, I'm gonna cast Damos's new custom cool spell, and for myself, and give myself a little bit of hit point.
Okay. All right. You guys go bursting in. Euphemia in the lead with everyone following behind you. You walk down a kind of a darkened hallway with torchlight around the side. You see down at the end dozens of shadowy figures off illuminated by a torchlight. And as you make your way in,
That was from earlier, sorry.
as you make your way in into the light, you see people around you. Obviously, Euphemia made a huge clatter, so you guys go charging in, and you walk in, and you see dozens of people around you. This darkened room with a bright, glowing red sigil on the ground, caved into the ground. You see these girls, young girls, from age 5 up through age 12, just kind of draped over these large stone fixtures surrounding the circle. There are these darkened figures everywhere with nasty scars on their arms and like, you know, their heads covered by cloaks all around you. They stare. They all turn as one as you come charging in, and you see them draw daggers out from their their pouches and stuff like that. There are, let's see here. Give me a second. We'll do it like this.
Oh, this is a cool map.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Midas, unfortunately, I gotta go. It's getting super late.
All right, man.
But before I go, if we're in a narrow enough hallway, I would cast Cone of Cold as long as there's no innocent kids in the way.
Okay, for sure. All right.
Catch you guys next week.
Okay.
Yep. Hopefully see you tomorrow.
Yep, yep.
At the head of the room, you see this guy.
Do we know who this guy is?
Yeah. He looks very familiar to you.
Who is
Okay,
he?
I don't know.
Is he from the bar?
Remind us.
Roll a perception check. Yeah, he looks a lot like the dude from the bar. Like the barkeeper. Jonin.
I gave you gold, motherfucker.
This is what you get for trusting freaking people
At
like
that
that.
perception check, do I see that that kind of monk dude I saw?
With that natural 20, yeah. I mean, you glance around and you see a bunch of people who look like villagers and that kind of stuff, all wearing these darkened clothing and that kind of stuff. And one of them does stick out to you as probably is Tetsu. All right, Euphemia was in the
Look what you
lead.
did. This is the cult of your god of war. See, this is what you did, Deimos. This is all your fault.
I don't believe this is a cult for Tempest.
Totally. See, like there's a Tempest banner right there. Can't you see it?
All right. So there's, as you guys charge into the room, there's shouting, they're screaming. The one guy, Jonin, he shouts out and he says, "They've come! They found us!" He says,
I thought we were friends, you son of a bitch.
"You were so easily deceived."
Where's that monk dude? I'm gonna point at that monk dude.
It's this dude here.
And I'm gonna point at him. I'll be like, hey, it's not too late. I saw some great, good stuff inside of you.
They say, "Your words are as foolishness, stupidity. We know what we do. We," he says, "are the ones who seek to open up the dark skies.
Well, that's already opened, you dumb pieces of shit.
And serve the one beyond the fold. He has given us power. He has given us his blood. As we give the blood of these to him."
Damo says, he says, hey, you know, that little symbol I burnt into you. I'd suggest you, you know, join the side. If you don't, bad stuff is really gonna happen. Like I want to be friends. I really do.
Silence! He says, let the blood-letting begin! And he pulls his dagger up over one of the small frames in front of him, and he plunges it down into her.
Can I?
Yeah, was there any
before
way
you-
we could try to hold him when he did that?
You can
Or it was
roll
too fast?
initiative.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
You know what? I'm gonna use my look. Okay, I'll keep the 13.
Alright, Euphemia initiative.
I'll keep the 13 instead of the 9.
Okay. Alright. Let's see here. Deimos with a 14 with 13. He rolled an 11. Deimos, you go first.
Deimos is going to reach out his hand, and he's a humanish guy, right? Would I be able to tell if he's a human, or like would I have to do like a hold monster? Would I be able to tell that?
He looked like a human to you. I mean, you don't know. You never tried to investigate him for see if he's something
fuck
else.
This son of a bitch. I'm gonna you know what? This makes sense because I'm gonna try to hold him with my 5th level spell.
Okay. Alright, he
So
fails.
I'm gonna kind of grab him. So that was my action, and then I'm gonna run in pretty much into the fray as far as I can into these people, and with my bonus action, I'm gonna try to taunt them all as much as I can.
Okay, so let me just lay this out a little bit better then. So there are 5 small girls laid out, kind of like imagine they're lying down, obviously, on top of like these small wooden or stone tables. They're laid out. They're spread out kind of like that. Okay.
Are they like tied up or something, or they're just laying there?
They're just lying there, covered by a white cloth,
And
completely
that
unconscious.
like that red sigil on the ground, we have no idea what that is, right?
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Question.
Yes.
Does this look anything like the dagger that sucked that old woman's soul out? Or seem anything like that type of summoning?
Roll perception.
Yeah, can
Investigate?
Deimos check too? On account if he had that dagger.
Sure.
Can I investigate? Or just
Sure.
perception?
Investigation really is more of like I'm looking and I'm examining. You don't really have time for that. This is a quick one-off, so perception.
Hey!
Euphemia, this looks nothing like that.
Oh,
This looks very
I
different.
want to make fun of Deimos, damn it.
Okay. Deimos, so
I
you
ruined
you react first. Let me grab my combat music going. Alright. Deimos, so you react first. You see him driving his dagger down towards this girl that's right in front of him. You cast Hold Monster on him, right? Or what did you cast?
Yeah, I cast Hold Monster, the 5th level
Alright.
one.
Okay. He freezes in place as his dagger is like about 6 inches above the girl, right? And he's just standing there, just trembling, and he shouts out. He says, "Wizardry!" He says. He shouts out to all of them. He says, "You know what to do!" All right, Deimos, you run in there and you take up your place. Elwyn, you were next.
I will dimension door right behind that fuck.
Okay.
And if she's not like laying on the table, can I stand like above her or something, like to cover her up.
Like put part of your. Well, he's like I said, the dagger is 6 inches above her. So
Okay. In
What do
that
you-
case, he's held, right?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll just quicken and twin for now. A firebolt.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll it on him first because it'll be with disadvantage.
All right. It's a miss.
Doesn't he
sec-
have advantage because also he's
Oh,
paralyzed? I mean, with DM.
Yeah. So, just roll it. 1 attack, normal. Okay, it hits. Okay. You see the firebolt punch into him, and you see his flesh begin to burn and sear away as his clothes just like burn off, and you can see it begin to the fire itself begins to eat away at his skin and his form underneath.
And here's the second bolt. Now for my movement.
Okay.
Would I be able to kind of drag the girl away, even if I take an opportunity attack?
You'd have to grab her, so you use your action
That'd
to
be
get
an
there.
action, okay.
Yeah, use your bonus to cast a spell and quicken it, so you got nothing left except movement.
Okay. I'm gonna stand right here.
Okay. That cultist that was standing there dies. That you firebolted right there. All right. Anything else?
No, that's my turn.
Okay. On his turn,
It's 19.
the cult leader he's got at the end of his turn. You just gotta make a wisdom saving throw, right?
I think so.
He fails, so he's still paralyzed. All right. So now it's the cultist's turn. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them get to go before Euphemia does. Euphemia, you see this one here break off and rush over here. This one here turns and runs over here, and your favorite dude, number 2, rushes over here to this girl. And this one
Why
runs
is he
over
my
here to this
favorite?
girl. No, that's Deimos' favorite dude. All right, Euphemia, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna do my Elytra song, or not Elytra song. Fuck, what is it called? My brain is totally collapsed. There, do that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast.
So everyone gets initiative or inspiration.
The spell. Blink. I'm gonna cast Blink.
Okay. All right. Anything else for your
So, a
turn?
third level spell. I can't see the grid square very well in this 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So can I, like, make it right here?
Yes.
Or actually, I'd be, like, right here.
About there, yeah.
Since I don't want to draw attack from anyone for opportunity.
Okay.
And then I roll a d20.
Okay. You stay there. Alright. Other cultists, several of them swarm around you, Deimos. They stand in front of you like this. Those 3 go there, and they start attacking you. Let's see here. Number 3, number 12. So, your cloak is activated, so they swing at you several times, but they're not hitting you. But what you can tell they're doing is they're blocking you off like this, standing in front of you with their bodies, swinging at you. I would basically need 2 natural 20s, I think, to hit you.
No, dang. Oh, right. It's just regular guys.
Yeah. All right. The other ones turn and using their full movement and dash action rush over to the circle. Okay. Like that. Euphemia, these other ones come around you in a similar fashion to what they're doing with Deimos. Actually, this guy came down here. And some of them are going to swing at you as well. Oh, one hits. You can do anything?
I'm kind of curious.
Alright, so he hits you.
Ah!
Alright, so a little club comes out and he smacks you across the arm, barely doing any damage. This guy here, cultist number 14, reaches inside his belt and pulls out a knife and plunges it into this girl right here. And as the knife stabs into her and blood begins to flow out, the runes and the sigil on the ground that are already lightly glowing red begin to throb and grow a deeper red. All right, Deimos, your turn.
All right, on Deimos' turn, he will as his action. Oh, sorry, which one? Oh, sorry, that's a girl, dead girl. This girl on the bottom, he is going to cast his fancy I'm a shield dude shield on her.
Okay. You gotta be close to somebody to do that. I mean, your your legacy weapon deal?
No. The spell.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's about 30 feet.
Wait, which spell is it?
Oh, okay, I'm gonna lie. I am first going to fuck these guys, run through all of them.
Are you gonna try to push your way through them?
I'm gonna try to push my way through.
All right, roll
I'll take
athletics.
as many attacks as I need to.
Roll athletics. All right. So they're not very strong, but they're all piled up in front of you.
Okay.
So here's their checks, and I'm gonna basically roll 3 of them. And no, I'm gonna roll 3 of them.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And I'm gonna see if they can stop you, or
Okay.
how much they can slow you down.
Tamos is just trying to get a little bit closer because he knows he just needs to get a little bit closer to. Oof.
Okay. So with the 5 of them in front of you, right? As you begin pushing, they all like throw their bodies in front of you, right? And they basically are trying to, they're like, you know, like how little kids will grab onto an adult, like on your arms, on your legs, just hanging on you, right? You're not able to get your full movement.
Am I able to get 5 feet closer to her?
To her? Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. You get
Okay.
to right about here, and like
Okay.
the cultists piled up all over you, kind of like that.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna burn as my action that shield to put it on top of her because Deimos is completely against letting people get hurt.
All right, which spell?
Well, the new one pretty much is like the armor, whatever it is, but I kind of downgraded it so I could have range on it.
Okay, let's see here. That's your level 3 spell, right? Super shield.
Yeah. So it only does damage like after the shield goes away, not like
Okay.
every time it gets hit, because that's a little silly.
All right, that's fine.
And then,
So it's a 20. It's 20 temporary hit points on her, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then as my bonus action, I can't really do much. I'm pretty much more taunting. I'm just gonna keep trying to push towards these girls
Okay.
and try to save them.
All right, Elwin, your turn.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I measured it out. I'm gonna step to here, and from here, each of these girls is 10 feet away from me. So I'm gonna get to the middle of the room and teleport us out. Well, not out, but teleport us like into the hallway
Teleport them
outside.
out. Get them far away.
Okay. I'll be right back, guys. So I will teleport them to the lady's house.
This spell instantly teleports you and up to 8 willing creatures of your choice that you can see within range, or a single object that you can see within range to destination you select. If you target an object, it must be able to fit entirely inside a 10-foot cube. Alright. So, these girls are unconscious. Right? So I'm going to make you roll for each one.
Okay.
Alright? So, roll 4 d20s. Okay, 2 of them go.
I will use my last luck point on that 3.
Okay. Alright, 3 of them go. Which 3?
The one that I promised that lady that she was like her daughter.
You don't know which one she is. They're all underneath white blankets.
The
One
This
has a
one?
shield.
Oh, which one has a shield?
The one below you.
Okay, so this one has a shield?
Not
Yes.
much of a shield, but a little bit of a shield.
Okay, so I'll take the other 3.
Okay. You and they suddenly vanish.
And on my next turn, I'm going to teleport back.
Okay. Alright. The cult fanatic's turn. You see that as the rune underneath their feet begins to glow, this effect that you have on him, Deimos, begins to shake and tremble, and on his turn he breaks through your hold monster spell to save at the end of his turn. He makes the save, and he begins
cool.
he stands up and he begins to shout. He points at the other girl. He says, "Kill her!" He says, "Spread her blood across the floor." All right. So these guys in front of you, Euphemia, are going to keep swinging at you. Miss. 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 One more. Hit. It comes through. 7 points of damage to you. And they're basically doing the same thing that they did to Deimos. They're piling onto you and they're trying to make sure you don't get anywhere. This one guy's gonna step that way. Alright. Your turn, Euphemia. What are you doing?
Give me a second. I don't remember how many. Okay. How big is a 20-foot circle again around a caster? I can't remember how big that is.
For which
They just
spell?
have to be 20 feet around me.
For which spell?
The sword singer, the ether sword singer.
Yes. I think it's... Let me see here. Within 20 feet of your casting location.
So if I make it like a an acrobat. Can I make like an acrobatic move to get closer to that girl?
You can try. You're gonna do the same thing that Deimos did.
Well, instead of doing brute force, I'm on acrobatic. My way
It's the same
to
thing.
it.
The athletics or acrobatics, it can be the same thing.
Okay.
It's basically a
well, that's
contested
what I'm
grapple.
gonna
Alright. So roll acrobatics. Okay.
do. So how far can I move?
You manage to slip most of their grasp, so you can have half your movement.
So like right here.
Yep.
So let me see here. Oh. Yeah, he works. Yeah. So all of these guys are gonna get hit by my swords. Move, which is a Illustrator's Blade Empowered hit. Are they actually? Would they even survive that if they got hit?
You're not gonna be able to get all of them. There's like,
It is. Well, no. Well, all the ones that are outside of my range, I can't. But the ones all around Deimos, the ones that are around me, and the ones around the girl are all gonna die. Are gonna get hit.
yeah. What I'm saying is that
And,
that's a
and a
fourth.
couple
I'm saying that's too strong for a 4th level spell for you to attack
well, Fireball
20
would do
people.
the same thing.
But let's see. Fireball damage would allow them to make a save.
And I can't choose who gets hit.
Yeah.
Like I would if I would cast a fireball right there where they're all standing, I would hit the girls and you guys and everybody.
So,
Well, if you want to make it like a
2, 3, 4,
5th
5,
level or
6.
a 7th level, I don't care.
yeah, to channel it that high, we'll probably have to modify the wording of the spell to allow you to hit. Let's see how many people you have targeted. Probably like 15 people that you have targeted right now.
Well,
It's gonna-
I'd rather be able to hit everyone within the area than a limited number. Because then it's just the point of like, why don't I just take out Fireball then?
well, that's the point. If you wanted to do that, you could be hitting Deimos and the girl as well. That's the penalty. So,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather make it a higher level.
okay. So 7th level spell to do that.
Okay.
Okay. So roll me 1 attack roll and 1 damage roll.
It sounds a little high, but okay. So what?
Don't, just roll 1 attack roll and 1 damage roll. I'm gonna detarget you right now because this is gonna be handled in the way this is gonna be handled is gonna be different. Okay, so you hit them and roll damage with your Illustrate blade on you. Okay. As you rush into there, you do like a little bit of a somersault and a tumble, and you manage to slip the grasp of those guys who are grabbing onto you. You stand right there in the circle, and you cast your Aether Sword Strike. Your body splits into over a dozen different shadow forms that flash out, and their blades fly. The ones outside the ring are fatally cut. So let's see, number 3. If I delete them on the
Yeah, that's the problem with this spell. Is like, if I roll badly, and plus 20 damage is pretty shitty for a 7th level spell, or it could completely miss if I roll. You know, depending on how strong. Just because these are weak creatures, they're all probably gonna get hit. But on anything that's near my level, I'm just wasting, like, I can never use it because a 7th level spell will never hit.
How
Or
many
has like a 20% chance of hitting.
how many
with 0
cultists did
damage.
you attack?
It's everything within a 20 yard around me.
about 15, 16 of them.
So
Pretty good.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
insane.
but Fireball still does like 50 to 60 points of damage. It's,
A 7th level
you know,
fireball.
Yeah.
A basic level
300.
fireball does like 30 damage.
Yeah, you did
Actually,
300
people
damage
do-
right now.
It's like what, 66?
yeah, but that's the point. If I rolled like a 1 or 2, it would have completely missed. And if they were like high-end level monsters that were
That's
like
a fireball,
our
yeah.
level,
You rolled low. Look at your rolls.
Yeah.
You rolled that's not, you rolled below average there. So you're like, your average damage would be over 25.
well, no. What I'm also saying that is I could also miss, especially when you fight enemies that have like 30 armor. Then that move is just not worth doing at all, especially
Yeah.
at the 7th level.
Well, that's an
which I
AoE
could
spell.
attack a monster.
If you're doing that on a bunch of leapers, for example, as an AoE spell. A fireball spell wouldn't be doing much to them either.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it's much better as a 6th and a 7th. As a 7th level spell, that would be laughably stupid.
Well, in this
Hit
situation, you got
15 people.
yeah. In this situation, I actually think it works out okay for you.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
In the future, we
Yeah,
can
that's what
we
I'm
can
saying.
tone it
It'd be
differently.
massively situation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yep.
situational.
All right. Well, let's say since you're standing on that spot, it actually was a
What
lot
happens
more
to the
strenuous
ones
of
that
a
are in the
spell.
circle, though?
Huh? Oh, hold on. An Elwyn. Let me see here. Your teleport spell cost you more than you thought it did. Which spell slot did you burn for that?
8.
Okay. It cost you your 9th.
Oh crap.
Alright. Euphemia, it costs you your 7th to cast that spell from where you are there. And the ones who are standing inside the circle took much less damage.
Like half?
Like, you don't know, but much less damage. Okay?
Well, are they hurt any at all? Bleeding or anything like that?
You can see that the slashes went through, but their form has begun to change as they're even as they stand there.
Then I will attack this guy with a sword attack. Okay.
Which one? Number...
2.
Okay, go ahead.
And I might add my damage. Ooh, that... never mind.
Anything else?
I can't add Bardic Inspiration. Oh no, it's an automatic.
Nah,
so it doesn't
it's a
matter.
natural one. Alright, you
Yeah,
fade
I
away.
vanish.
You vanish.
Do I see anything in the ether?
You
I
do
have
not.
to ask.
You do not.
The red circle still looks like a red circle.
Yes.
Ooh.
Alright. Back at the top of the initiative, these guys start moving in this direction. Like this away. These two guys, 2 and 15, they swing at the little girl. The first one swings at her, doing 8 damage to the shield. And it recoils back at him, Deimos, as it cracks into the shield. Alright, so you can see him taking some damage back.
Oh, sweet.
Number 15 is going to go next, doing the same thing. Alright, the shield breaks.
Oh, shit.
Okay? It recoils back at him as he takes a little bit more damage. These guys are going to turn now, Deimos, and they can't quite reach you. But this guy is going to come over here, and he's going to raise his hands, and he's going to point at you, the cult fanatic. And he's going to cast... I need you to make a... Constitution saving throw. Alright. So you take half of this. As as it coils, or he raises a single finger at you, and that dark coil of energy forms around his arm and just spirals out in your direction in a wavy wisp. It strikes you in the chest. You resist most of the damage, but you take 35 points.
Check it out.
Oh, you did already?
Yeah, I had the 10 hit points from before.
Okay. As he casts Finger of Death on you.
Oh shit, I lowered my max.
Yeah, I think you lowered your max.
There we go.
Okay. All right.
Was that 35, right?
Yeah, 35 total. All right. These other cultists are.
Did you skip my turn
moving.
this round?
I think I did by accident. All right. What are you doing on your turn?
I would have teleported back. I'm pretty sure I would have touched something that Deimos has, so I would have used that as an anchor. Teleport next to Deimos.
Okay. You come into existence right there.
That would have been my 8th level spell slot. Would it fail, or am I
No,
good?
no, that's fine.
All right. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Deimos, you're up.
Oh, shoot. Deimos is not very happy with what's going on, and he knows shit's got to get real fast. Can you tell how much like energy is getting taken off from spells and stuff like that?
Well, you could tell. Visually, you'd be able to tell that Euphemia, when she casts and Elwyn, when they cast a spell there, they had to try harder than they normally would have had to. And you can
Okay.
tell that these guys have definitely been affected by what's going on. But you don't know how much.
All right. Is it possible for Deimos to use his movement and like his action, bonus action, pretty much everything? He's just gonna try to barrel through this and like lay on top of this girl to cover up.
You're gonna try to rush in there and cover her up.
What if I cast? What if I try to cast Super Deimos on myself as my action,
Okay.
so I can at least be stronger
Okay.
and try to just burst through? It's my
That-
8th level spell.
Okay, that gives you haste also, right?
Yep. So it's like double movement, double action-ish type of thing.
All right, roll athletics. Okay. These guys, so you cast haste on yourself. Go ahead and do that. These
Oh, should I
guys.
do the advantage
Yeah.
athletics? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's roll one more time then.
Okay. And go ahead and put that effect on yourself.
You got it.
So you cast that spell on yourself. You go into you bulk up even possibly more than you normally are, and you charge and you try to shove your way through. The resistance is much stronger. These guys, they were like normal dudes before, but now as you begin to push your way through, you can tell that they're resisting you much more powerfully. All right. 16, 20, 30. All right. As you shove through and break your way through, it takes all of your movement to get to here.
All right. So there's no possible way with like that extra action
You haven't- yeah,
/
you
bonus action
Now you can try
So,
to
like-
use those.
You have a bardic inspiration.
and the bardic inspiration to start laying on, like just to cover up.
All right. So it's gonna take your whole extra action, right, to shove
Yeah.
your way. All right. So roll one more athletics check. All right. So you push this guy out of the way and you throw yourself on top of the girl.
And I'm gonna try to cover up as much as I can to shield her.
Okay. All right. That's what you got.
And that's gonna be Deimos.
Okay. So Owen, I skipped you last time, so now it's your turn.
All right. So I'm gonna see all of these dudes. You know what? I'm gonna. If it'll hurt. Yeah, I'm gonna detonate a fireball right there.
Okay.
That cool?
Yeah. Target them and make them roll the save.
Would I get 13 in there, or is he half in, half out? No, that's
No, I'd say no. He's more out than he's in. Okay, so I think all of them failed. Alright, so, don't do it on the combat tracker. Don't push the spell button, but just individually roll the spell dice, like, whatever it is, 86. What level did you cast it at? 10? Or level...
it's 7.
Okay.
It's from the staff.
Okay. So your spell radiates out across the room. It gets engulfed by fire, and you see it flow over these guys. As it does, parts of their cloak begins to catch on fire and burn away, and underneath you see scarred, darkened skin. Because the skin is almost looking like it's petrified, but they're looking at you, and their eyes are crazed. They definitely felt the pain of what you just attack. Of your attack right now. Okay, so 27, 5, 9. All right. Those guys die right there. And number 9. Okay, and then 11, 14, and 1. Okay, that's kind of what you're looking at right now.
Okay. As a bonus action, I'm going to use a 4th and a 3rd to get all my sorcery points back.
Okay. Alright. End of your turn. Deimos, these guys around you are going to start pounding. They're going to start swinging at you. Alright? And there's no more cloak effects because you're just lying down on the
I'm
ground.
definitely prone, yeah.
You're prone down on the ground ahead of them. Okay. So here they go. Oops, was not targeting you. That's a hit, though.
But I'll use my one of my reaction to block that one hit.
Okay. So there's 4 more coming.
Oh yeah.
It's a 24.
Oh wait, actually the 27 misses. I forgot.
That's 27
Haste gives you
miss.
plus 2 AC, so I'm at 28 right now.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Alright, that's 24 misses as well. Okay. So 2 more coming. I can target them on you. Okay. There we go. Alright. Miss. Oh man. Wait. You're lying
Against the
down,
mid-level
right?
guy.
You're lying
Yeah,
down, right?
so they should. I'm lying down. I have my cloak, but you can probably just get rid of that to give them all advantage. I mean, it'd be kind of silly if they didn't have advantage.
That's actually true. So I've rolled 1, 2, 3, 4 times already. So here's 2 more coming
just-
at you. 3 more
okay,
coming
cool,
at you. That's a miss. I haven't been really terrible. Okay, there's a crit.
Oof. I'll take that. They have no choice.
And wait, that was not with advantage.
Yeah.
Missed. Okay, so just the 1 crit.
Whew.
Alright, so here
Self
comes
crit.
here the crit comes your way.
Oh.
With a just 1 more die. Doesn't matter. So 1 more damage.
Ugh.
Okay. Alright, so they're
That
pounding
plus
on you.
21.
They're pounding on you and just blasting into your back. You can feel a little bit of the pain coming through. You're surprisingly your armor, your demon armor, is holding up, preventing most of the damage from affecting you. All right, Euphemia, you pop back in. You're about to pop back into existence. What do you do?
Those demons on top of the girl?
Yes.
Think if there's any way I can get around there, but
Probably not. What are you doing?
fuck.
She's gonna stand there.
I'm gonna do something I never really do. I'm gonna cast darkness on Deimos.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hit the cultist that's I'm targeting.
So let's see. Darkness is. All right. You're using your racial ability to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Swing. That hits. Just going to roll damage. 10, 19. He doesn't die. Almost dead. Okay. You see your blade cutting across his back.
Actually, can I put my bardic inspiration into damage?
Sure.
I'm trying to remember what dice that is.
D12.
D12.
Okay. That's enough. It finishes him off.
Make sure I get rid of one.
Yeah, I did.
And then
Alright.
I'm going to move over here.
And then roll your d20 to see if you stay.
Actually, can I appear over there when I came out of my dimensional thing? Since I get a free 10 foot.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, end your turn.
And
You stay
I'm
there.
still there
Alright.
in the darkness.
Alright, so you're inside the darkness. The darkness is, I think, 15 feet out from the source. So you're looking at... more than that. A circle like that big. Alright, darkness. On his turn, the cult fanatic is going to... you know, kind of surprised by the darkness and his inability to see inside it. He is going to cast... He's going to step backwards and walk out of it like that.
Can I attack him?
No, you can't see him.
But then where does he know where to go?
He walks backwards. And you can see the darkness come out as it
But he
arises.
doesn't know that there isn't dark behind him.
Yeah,
Ha ha ha.
but
Logic.
it's a natural reaction. It's either run forward or run backwards.
If he doesn't know where to run.
He was on the edge of it. He was like barely inside it. So he kind of pops out like that way. Not quite sure what's going on in there. He is going to cast like a very big fireball.
Can I use my reaction for my shield?
I
To
counter-
mainly, I don't even care if it hurts me. I just want to protect the girl.
Can I counterspell?
It's actually here, he's gonna be a higher level spell. It's not gonna be fireball. It's gonna be freaking-
Super fireball.
what's that 7th level spell?
Oof.
He's got 7th level spells. Now that he's standing inside the thing. Yeah, we'll go prismatic spray.
Yeah, it goes through.
What level is it?
Level 7.
And I absorb it with my glove.
You cannot
You
see
can't
it.
see him.
Doesn't. Yeah, isn't it hearing based? Once per long rest, use your reaction to cancel a spell 6th level or higher. And never mind.
Okay.
I don't
Prismatic
think
spray.
I can see him.
Euphemia, Cultist Deimos, blah blah blah. All of you guys make a.
Ugh. Oh no.
How does this spell not have the actual text?
Prismatic spray?
Yeah, the
Isn't that one of those funky spells?
yeah, it's super funky.
Is it a wizard one?
Yeah. All right. Each multicolored ray, dexterity saving throw. Okay. So you guys make a dexterity saving throw.
But was I...
Euphemia
If I
makes
get
it.
hit, am I allowed to use my reaction to try to shield a girl?
Yes.
I don't think
Okay,
it would
cool.
hit you, Elvin. Oh, never mind. That was charm.
All right. Yes, it does. All right. Deimos and Euphemia roll a d8.
I thought I made it.
You did pass it, but you take half damage.
Uh-oh.
7. Euphemia roll a d8.
I have to type this. I hate this.
Why don't you just roll it?
Because I don't know the dice.
All right. So here's the. Since you both rolled a 7. Huh.
It's lucky and we don't get hurt.
That's actually super
Good to
lucky.
know.
That one does no damage. But you guys. Euphemia, you made the save, so you're not. But Deimos, you are blinded, but you're inside the dark anyway, so it's not like. It's not like it affects you.
Hey, don't his own people get hit? And get random effects?
At the start of your next turn. Oh, alright. On the failed save, the target is blinded, and must then make a wisdom saving throw at the start of your next turn. Alright, a successful save ends the blindness. A failed save transports the creature to another plane of existence, and the creature is no longer blinded.
Right, fair enough. That's a
Hi,
thing.
Damers.
Alright, so Euphemia is fine. Deimos, you are affected by this. You are blinded, and you are hit by the prismatic spray.
I'd say it's a solid 50-50.
What
I
about
got
his
good
friends?
wisdom saving throws. 50-50.
His friends, 14, 13, 17, and 15. 15's dead. 17 is okay. 14 is okay. 13 is on the bleeding edge of being dead. Alright. The girl, so Deimos, as this hits you, you utilize your artifact and cast a bubble, your reaction, to protect the girl beneath you from certain death. Alright, Deimos, it is now... Elwyn, these guys who are standing here on the edge, you see them like line up like this, but they're not leaving the red, and they're not going into the darkness area.
Okay.
Alright. Alright, Elwyn, or Deimos, your turn.
Alright, so do I do it now or end my turn?
No, it's on his turn.
Oh, his turn. Oh, okay. In that case, Deimos can't really see, and does she still have the shield around her?
No, it's just a momentary thing. So when you use it to save somebody else, it's a momentary
Okay,
thing.
okay,
On
right,
yourself,
right.
it stays up for like a whole round.
Now, if I cast Flame Strike straight on top of myself, would it
Okay.
hit her too?
Flame Strike,
Because it's a stupid spell they give.
down
war
from the
players.
heavens in a location you specify. Yeah, it would not hit her.
It would not?
If you're covering her up, you're
Hell yeah. I'm gonna cast that.
right on top of you.
Yep. Sorry, Euphemia. I really am. I don't want to hit you, but Deimos doesn't know, and his
You don't-
main goal is
you
You
protect
don't necessarily
everybody.
even know that she's there.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
So that's fire damage?
Yes. 46 fire
I
damage,
have
46
resistance.
radiant damage. Alright, so go ahead and roll it.
I have resistance.
Holy shit, that's a pretty decent
what's the
damage.
save for it?
Let's see. It was a dex save.
So I rolled dex save?
No,
Dex
he
18 I
he
did
rolled
on
it for
you.
you. You failed it.
Where? I don't see it.
It's up there. He rolled a 7 plus 8 for 15, which is below his DC, but it should have resisted half of the fire. So take 11 off of that for you. I'll take it off, so you get 42. Okay. Those cultists around you are incinerated, Deimos. That was as much as they
Good.
could handle. But that took a higher level spell. What spell level
Oh,
did you burn?
shoot. We do my deck save too, because I get hit too. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take my 22 points.
Yep.
Oh wait, I'm not even concentrating, but yeah, so 22 points.
Okay, so go ahead and add that to yourself. And what spell level did you burn for that? Level
5, so I'll take a 6 off.
Yep, that's right. Okay, Elwyn, your turn. Euphemia, roll a concentration check.
Why?
Because he hit you with a fire spell.
So...
You
Concentrating
need...
on blink.
No, I'm not. Blink isn't concentrate.
Oh,
You're
darkness.
concentrating on darkness. You need a 15 or higher.
What is concentrate? No. Didn't know that.
It's a constitution
What do I
saving
roll?
throw.
Just con save?
Yes.
Con save. We're gonna fail this.
Alright, you fail, darkness goes away.
Doesn't matter, I was probably gonna get rid of it anyway, so it isn't helping anymore.
Alright, Elwyn, what are you doing?
I'm casting Chain Lightning. I'm targeting 4, but it only rolled against 3.
It looks like you're only rolling... Oh, when you... 1, 2, 3... Did one of them save it? Failure, failure, failure.
I see 4 little lines coming from me.
11, 1, and 9. You know, it looks like their tokens are not lined up correctly with who they are.
I'm targeting 11, 9, and 10.
10?
I think
Okay,
you
so,
have the
so
cult fanatic
5
too.
should be on there too. But, okay. It's a saving, it's a dexterity save?
Yeah.
I'll roll for number 5. He succeeds.
Okay. Here's damage on that.
Okay. And on him too, so he succeeds that, he takes half damage. He's number 5 is still alive. Jenny 5 is alive. 11, 9, and 10. Oh, 11 dies. 9 dies because he was on the bleeding edge. 10 is fine. 11 dies. He was almost dead anyway. Okay.
Okay. And then my Quicken and Twin. A 2 and a 4. Do you want me to roll the damage or roll it on the side?
2 for those 2 left. 20. Okay. So those are those last remaining cultists, right?
Yep.
10 and 5. Five dies. 10 is looking very rough. Alright. On his turn, he's going to turn around to you, Euphemia. And he's going to take a swing at you. Oh, shoot. He misses. Alright, Euphemia, your turn.
over here. Target that guy. And I am just going to go all out. Oh, I want to cast... I'm going to use my 9th level spell and cast my... Sword Dancer. So how many hits do I get with a
Shit.
9th level rating?
Shadow Dancer?
I thought it was Sword Dancer. No, Shadow Dancer, you're right.
Okay, 4 times, 6th level higher, you gain 1 additional attacks per slot. But since you're standing inside the circle, it costs more. So...
Yeah, just like, how many attacks do I get for a knife?
Well, because you're in the circle, it's not going to be quite as many. Alright, you're going to get 6 attacks.
6, so I'm gonna attack him 7 times.
Okay.
Good. I get 6, okay. Oh, he died, okay.
Okay, yeah, as you burn your 9th level spell, you can see that he's greatly resisting your damage, but just the onslaught, the continued onslaught of slashes and cuts and deep wounds into him. He eventually looks at you, and blood is flowing from everywhere. And he grimaces. He says, "The Dark Lord," he says, "will be pleased by my death." He dies.
Can I put one of those swings on the other cultist? It'd be the bonus action swing.
Sure. Okay, you hit him. Alright, so he dies as well. Alright, so Deimos, that was your blind save?
Yeah, I forgot
Wisdom
about
saving
that. I
throw?
just want to make sure I rolled it. Yeah.
Alright, you're okay. You're very lucky, you're okay. You don't vanish to another dimension. Okay. As the last cultist falls to the ground, you look down and you see a trembling, sort of lightly moving young girl underneath your arms, Deimos. The room is just covered in blood. I mean, like, there's blood everywhere.
I pick her up and I carry out
Okay.
of the circle.
Alright. As you guys leave the circle, you can see its power is pulsing, but as the minutes go by, it begins to dim slowly.
Can I do some sort of like crazy religion check to try to figure out what it is, or is it way beyond my knowledge?
I would like to try that too.
Roll a religion.
'Cause I actually have religion.
All right. This is a sigil. I mean, you're trying to do some thinking, and you heard them refer to the dark god in the skies, to open up the dark skies, that kind of thing. You heard some of that terminology, and you're looking at the inscription on the ground, and it's complicated. It's vague. It's not super precise. It's kind of crude in how it's cut, so there's not a lot of precision in it. You do recognize that it is to some sort of deity. It is not demonic in origin. And let's see. So it's not a symbol that you recognize. I mean, you can recognize divine origins, and that there is, even though it's it seems evil in nature. That the energy is some kind of divine energy, almost radiant in power. You're not quite sure of the source, but you have a nagging feeling of somewhere a long time ago. It feels, Deimos, I'm speaking to you specifically, like a slight sense of deja vu. Like I've almost, have I been here before? That kind of thing. Something is
Okay.
nagging at your recollection, but you can't put your finger on it. It's a very, very subtle sense. Like, what? Wait, this? It's like,
Something could be something, but I don't know what.
yeah. Just something, the slightest of familiarities. Like, have I
Like
seen this
something
before?
that eats little old ladies.
Hmm.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna.
So- Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh, is the thing
Let's
fading
destroy
away?
it. I
It's
say we destroy
the
this whole thing.
it's still
'Cause-
glowing, but
Yeah, I say we destroy it.
Okay, how are you destroying it?
Divine punches.
Just tearing up the ground.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right, so you go to work and you start pounding into the ground and breaking the rock and cracking the fixtures. It doesn't take you terribly long to completely break the integrity of the rune sequence, and the glow fades away fairly quickly. All that's left now is this room covered in blood, and you got blood all over you. Actually, Euphemia does as well. She was in the middle of all that stuff. Elwyn, you're surprisingly clean.
Yep.
All right.
Shoot, guys.
So did that little girl survive the one?
Yes, she survived.
Okay.
She's scared. She got a little burn. She's like sunburned because of the flame strike. Maybe
What about the
first degree
what about the other
sunburns.
guy's daughter? I mean,
Yeah,
there's two
that's-
daughters.
That's what I meant. The daughter that I promised her mom that she'd be okay.
She was one of the girls that you teleported out.
Okay, good.
Well, what about, I mean, the one that was taken from the night before and the one that was taken tonight? Both of them?
The one that was taken from the night before is the one that Deimos is holding right now. The one from
Yay.
before was months earlier.
Oh, well,
She's
wasn't there one? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she is
you
no
mean
longer
the first
here.
daughter.
Yeah,
One we never met, never saw, yeah.
correct.
Hey, Damos, it looks like maybe some of that blood of all the people you murdered is going to be wiped away.
Damus is really confused on what you're talking about. He's never murdered anyone in his life.
Sure. So, do you still want to go kill the king?
I think we should deliver these daughters back to where they're supposed to go, and I mean, if they were doing this for this long of a time, like, who knows if they had these other sigils that went off or whatever's going on.
You think there's like a bunch of different cults and this was just like one of 50?
I hope not. That'd be terrible if it was one of 50, but if this has been going on for such a long time, who knows?
Okay. Alright, so I think that's a good spot to end it for tonight. You guys rooted out the cult underneath the city. And you did a lot of investigating and trying to piece together what exactly was happening. You think you guys have it
Don't
figured
you
out?
mean that they were trusting everyone that was telling them lies and kicking everyone's ass that was trying to save everyone?
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
Doesn't make any sense.
you guys never insight checked the barkeeper.
That's true,
But
actually.
you insight checked the hell out of Kian Mei's sister.
Yeah, we did. Can't trust them royalty.
Yeah.
You inside checked her so much that there might be an inquiry and some cops coming to talk to you later.
That's possible as well. You also tackled her and tried to forcibly hold her against her will. And
That didn't. That didn't even ever happen. I need some video evidence.
And I still say I made a windowless van for Deimos because he needed one.
there you go.
Thanos doesn't even kill people. He's a nice person.
All right. Okay, guys. So we'll end it there for tonight, and I will catch you next week. We might have a new player next week, depending on how things work out.
That'd be cool. And Gale?
Yeah, she says she's available on Monday nights, so
That'd be sweet. She's
I'll work with
pretty
her.
fun to play with. So
And I think I have a good way of introducing her character, depending
sweet.
because I think I know where you guys are headed next. Well, yeah, where you'll get to next. So
You never know.
So what are you gonna do with my sword singer?
I might just cap the number of characters. Instead of saying all, maybe at level 4, it's like
But you
up
gotta
to-
remember too, I based my build around that too, so you're kind of capping it off on me because I built around it.
Yeah, Damos actually wants to get 7 attack space. I based Damos around being a tank, but I also want 24 attacks now.
Well, yeah, but this is the way I built my character. I built my character to be a sword fighter, someone that goes in and can shadow step and, just bring down the attacks. Because 90% of bards I've seen are just they're spellcasters that have every spell that's ever known, and they just destroy stuff and rain down meteors and shit like that. And I can never do as much damage as they can. But if you cap my sword abilities, then you're capping my builds.
Well, I want my magic not to hit my teammates then.
Well, there is a mage that can spell sculpt,
Oh,
and you
then
can
I want
basically
that too.
throw billions of fireballs, and
Yeah.
they can never hit.
well, that's like
any
saying
target
that you
don't want
could.
to.
That's like saying you could have rolled a fighter or something like that who would be hitting like this.
Well, no, I mean I'm saying that there's spellcasters that do that, and that's what they're built to do. I'm built to be a sword singer bard.
Okay, so
This is what I'm built to do.
this spell I told you when we put it together that it's probably overpowered, but but at the moment
well,
we
yeah,
haven't
that's what I was saying.
yeah we
I
haven't
think
come
it's
across
better
a
as
situation.
5 or a 6, but a 7, I think that's way too. Even a 6 is going to be massively situational because, as I said, like if I try to do it when you in the circle, it would have like missed half of them, and I might have did like 30, 40 damage.
Look at it this way. You did 300 damage with that one spell, with a 7th level spell. The
Yeah, but
max
they were
I
like
can
all
do.
easy hit characters that had no armor.
But
It
you
was like
still
guaranteed
did.
hits.
Yeah, but you still did 20 damage to
A
each,
spell
and that was
sculptor
rolling low.
mage could have done the same thing, but did a lot more damage. Especially
But
if they're fire
isn't that
based.
what Major's supposed to do? Just big AoE blasts?
Look, this would be my hardest hit as a 9th level spell. I rolled a bunch of ones, but it doesn't even compare to the 300 damage that you did.
But if you had dropped a meteor swarm on top of that spot, it would have been different.
Yeah.
But that's also a 9th level spell. My problem was just that there's no way that's happening at 4th level. I could see it at 5th level, as is written.
Yeah, I can see it at 5th or 6th. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll put it at 5th level for now, and we'll just keep an eye on it. Don't worry about your power cap. I mean, things are going to get crazy as you guys hit to level 20 and go beyond. I mean, the relative level of what you guys are doing right now is going to fade away pretty quickly. So
Oh
don't-
no.
Okay, so don't worry about that.
Quick question. Okay, if it doesn't ruin the story
Mhm.
whatsoever, if we let all those girls get sacrificed, would there be some big demon-y dude that got summoned?
No, those guys have just been much harder to kill.
Oh, okay.
They only sacrificed the one. The second one, and they would have been, like, seriously difficult.
Okay. I would hate to see if they had them all.
Yeah.
Did I mess up the thing by teleporting him out? Or
No,
did
that
I
was actually
have
pretty
fun?
smart. No.
Yes, we did it.
Alright. Cool.
I appreciate you running the game. Thank you so much.
Alright, yeah. Good role playing, good talking to the characters and trying to figure out what was going on.
Yep.
So,
Alright, guys, I'll see you next week.
catch you guys
See you
next
guys.
week.
Hopefully,
Thank you.
Elwin, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Hopefully.
Night, guys.
Peace.